Saw it in my email.
Hallelujah.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Y'all come on, pull on in. We at 0 in, but we're going to tarry for our people, man. Talk about the... We at 0 in. Well, we got sound check. We're going to tarry. All right. We're going to tarry for our people. We'll go ahead and start sending this out. We're going to talk about the extermination of the Jews. Our first feast is upon us. It's going to be the Feast of Purim. We're going to go over the history in detail. And then, you know, give you a little hot topic at the end of this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So, Shalom, what's going on, Dominique?
Well, this ain't the first feast. It's just, you know.
Well, yeah, you know, Passover is the first feast.
Yeah.
You know. So, Salakia,
Yeah.
stand corrected. That's what you need your brothers for. Keep it short. Never get mad at edification, man. That's what the whole thing's about. Correcting yourself, edifying each other, you know what I'm saying, and building and growing. So it's one thing we should never do is be mad when another brother is getting you tight, because you know how the enemy is just waiting in the cut, waiting to chop up your words and belittle you, you know what I'm saying? Get caught picking boogers on the screen, you know.
Boy, picking boogers.
Picking boogers. Hey,
that Negro was all up in his nasal cavity.
But don't get caught sucking your thumb on the mic, man. You know what I'm saying? So with a few little shout outs, let me go ahead and set this out to a couple of multimedia platforms. But yeah, man, how everybody doing this evening? Make sure y'all chop it up with each other as well.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, we about to go over this history of Purim, extermination of the Jews, honoring humility is observing Purim, starting the first day of the week, coming up Sunday, 5 p.m. early in the morning. We're going to go on out and do some community work, you know, get our people together that may be esteemed as less fortunate. Gonna get them together and then come on back up here to the headquarters and throw down around 5 p.m. Pretty sure we're gonna go live in too. But we want to go over this history of Purim, Queen Esther or Hadassah, and how the Most High used her. She was very instrumental in our history when it came down to, you know what I'm saying, preserving the Most High's people. It was Most High behind it the whole time. Her and her cousin. Mordecai was not her uncle. You understand? Mordecai was her cousin. So both of them were very instrumental in sparing the Judeans of the captivity who had been taken away captive by Nebuchadnezzar. You feel me? And then once Babylon went down by the hands of the Persians, the Israelites under Cyrus, or the Judeans under Cyrus, were decreed to go back home and rebuild Jerusalem. But it was a lot of us that stayed back in captivity. So when you read Esther and you read about Mordecai, and you're reading about the Judeans that decided to stay back in captivity and just live their lives, you know what I'm saying? Live their lives not as heathens, you understand, but as, you know what I'm saying, Torah observing Judeans. But then you had Israelites or Judeans like NehemiYAH and Ezra, who actually were commissioned to go back and rebuild Jerusalem. So all of this is around the same time. All right. You won't find this feast in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, though. It's not in there. This history hadn't played out yet. It's just like you won't find the Feast of Dedication, you know what I'm saying, in Leviticus 23rd chapter. That history actually is after this history, because that's during the time of the Greek occupation. You understand? Because that history hadn't played out in our history yet. So these are the feasts that, because some people are like, well, it's not in Leviticus 23, you understand, but a feast was ordained by the elders in Israel. You feel me? Thanking the Most High for delivering us from extermination.
So what happened, man? Had us ready for the gallows.
Yeah, so we over at Honor Humility, we actually observe the Feast of Dedication, and we observe the Feast of Purim or Purim, which means lots. You know what I'm saying? Lots were being cast to determine certain things in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. They cast lots for the Messiah's garment. Peter and them cast lots to see who was going to take Judas' position within the 12 disciples. You feel me? So we're about to go over the history of Purim. It's not what you see them heathens doing over in Jerusalem, dressing up like it's Halloween or something. You feel me? We just gonna read the
come up with
book,
all kinds of stuff.
and then at the end, y'all, we got a bit of a hot topic because you know how people get. Esther, she married a heathen king, so I can go marry Becky,
the heathen queen.
Nah. We're gonna read the editions of Esther in the Apocrypha, and you're gonna see this sister's mindset and where she was at. You feel me? And then ask yourself, could you really, because a lot of sisters figure that they are financially well off and stable in this so-called captivity.
As it was set up to be.
Yeah, but I mean, Esther was set up to be stable and and very financially fine. You did? But we're gonna trip off her actions today and see how does she carry herself. You understand? When her people was on the chopping block, did she act like, well, that's them, that's not me?
Was it all about me?
You know what I'm saying?
That I mentality.
Like, I'm good, I'm stable, I got my paycheck coming in,
I'm up in the castle.
I got my career going, I'm
solid.
Yeah. Did she act like that? Like, I got my career, I'm living my best life?
Or
was she like, oh, look, it's what it is? You understand? Who am I if my people are no good?
This is the mindset Israel needs to be. That's why it's important in this hour that we come together.
That's right.
And then if there is pieces of us that broke, we try to mend it and fix it ASAP. In the words of my brother Malaki, hurry up.
Hurry up and get her done. All right, y'all. We also, before we start, we're going to go ahead and petition the heavens. We got a few prayer requests that have come in. So we're going to pray. And we're going to pray against any strongholds. We're going to pray against any strong men or demons that's afflicting, any of our people, whether it be in forms of sickness or unclean spirits. We even going to pray against the strong men or the demons that's afflicting our enemies in the Israelite nation or out. You understand? We attacking. We in attack mode now with these prayers. You understand? Binding and loosing. All right, so y'all climb on in. Y'all share this deal. Shalom to all in the chat.
We're looking pretty good. We got about 50 in already.
Yeah. Y'all share this across social media. We're going to read through this Esther. All right. I ain't going to lie to you. It's one of my favorite stories. I like how a sister didn't sell out even though the opportunity was there for her to. She stood with her God and her people.
Her God and her who?
People. So
she never forsaked her own just because she had the bag.
Because she was good living her best life.
Because she had made her bag.
Exactly. Let that mind be in all you sisters. Maybe thinking, well, I'm good in Babylon right now. I make my 100K. I got my career popping. You understand? But that wasn't her sister. That wasn't her mindset. That sister, Hadassah or Esther, that wasn't her mindset. Her mindset was, look, if my people are all bad, I'm jacked up too. You understand? And I'm willing to put my life on the line. I'm willing to die if I got to bring awareness to the situation.
That's right.
You understand? To bring awareness to the situation. So let that mind be in all you sisters too, or even you men that think you well off and financial and stable here in America, but your people jacked up.
Exactly, man. We are a nation.
That's right.
Just like we are a body, and no one member of no one body is good to itself. A hand by itself is no good. A foot by itself is no good. One eye by itself without its other members are no good, just as the body.
That's right.
Right. So we're a body of believers. Listen, our brother Malaki has a set of skills that's conducive to the body. I have my own set.
That's right.
And y'all sisters have y'all set, and other brothers have their sets. You know what I'm saying? All that supposed to come together collectively for the cohesiveness of Israel.
Well, I like that word. Cohesiveness. What? Spell it.
Cohesive.
I like that word. One of the big words. I'm about to put that in my mental Rolodex. Shout out to everybody online, man. Love y'all in sincerity and truth, deed, truth. Toda Rabbah for all y'all prayers and all y'all support. Straight up.
Hey, man, how y'all like Mally voice coming back?
Hallelujah. Toda Rabbah for the prayers.
All praises. Toda for the arms as well. You see, thank you, Cassie. I was right behind you. Look, me and Cassie put cohesiveness in the room.
Yeah. Cohesiveness. That's all good. I'm going to add it to my mental Rolodex, brother.
Yeah,
it's
man.
All good, man.
Hey, man, we ought to glue and hold each other together.
Hallelujah. We are.
We really are.
Yeah, don't become a puffed up, esteemed Negro like that think you just, you don't need nobody else. You got to
Because
go.
you made yours.
Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? We all are members of Messiah's body. The Messiah has the supreme rulership, lordship.
Cohesive lights.
You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
You know what I'm saying? All things are under his feet. Like y'all sound like y'all black power. No, we talking about Messiah power, because all authority and power been given unto him. You understand? And we flex our power in him because we are in him. We are seated with him in heavenly places.
Right.
So there ain't nothing you going through or nothing that's plaguing you that can't be bound and cast out and cast down and back broken and cast into a herd of swine. All right. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and bring our people before the throne of the Almighty. Again, y'all, Passover, Pesach is coming up. We over here are doing it April 8th at evening. The information is in the description box. How you register, how you pay for your tickets. We ain't busting heads like $100 a head like some congregations out here doing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing none of that. You understand? We actually are doing what we need to do. Judah Moshe, if you listening, man, we online, bro. I'm live. But we actually are doing what we need to do. We are not putting Israel up under the whip. You know what I'm saying? Just to throw a Passover. Now we coming together. You know what I'm saying? They call it, the cost is in the food and in the building that we got to rent out.
That's exactly what it is.
That's it. And that's all we, you know what I'm saying? The money y'all putting forward going toward that so we can serve the Most High. You know what I'm saying? On his high holy day. All right.
And listen, all y'all are invited, and understand what this is put out there too. Even if you don't have the money to cover the cost, we have not turned no one away from our doors.
That's right.
Right? We just ask that you provide a service somewhere else. Help feed, help clean up, help set up. You know what I'm saying? Help look out, help, wait tables if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? None of us laboring for finances. It's all labors of love.
That's right.
According to the commandments. You know what I'm saying? We all servants. I serve y'all, y'all serve me. And it's an honor to be on the team. So again, no one is turned down. So I want to just put that out there as well. And again, I think 25 or 40, I think 25 was the highest cost.
Yeah, 20 for individual and then 40 for a family of 5.
Right. So
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
$10 a person.
Any children after that is $5 for additional children.
Right.
For the big families.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, back in the day, boy, there'd been a whole bag from NehemiYAH. Ooh, so glad the kids grown, baby.
We all good. All right.
Yeah, man. So we got about 64 y'all in the room. That's good numbers to start. So we should have about 64 to 65 likes already. 64 to 65 shares already. And we're going to go ahead and petition the heavens.
No doubt. Also, shout out to all the haters, jackers, and naysayers, too. We love our enemies. You understand? And no, we praying against the demons that's controlling y'all actively several times a day on our face. You understand? Your arms too short to box with the Almighty. We pray against the strong man and the demons that are controlling you. We break its back, bind them, and cast him out. You understand? So that's just what it is. So shout out to all the jackers, haters, and naysayers. Ain't necessarily wrong with having enemies either, boy.
No, Christ had enemies, so you know you're going to have.
Keep you on your toes. Then he say jump for joy when people, you know what I'm saying, cast out your name as evil for doing what's righteous.
And
you know,
you would post that in the room.
And about this, you know that's Luke 20, that's Luke 6, 22, 23. And you know it's acts of righteousness if you ask something about what sin has been committed. And it's crickets.
Crickets.
Well, you casting me away from you because of envy, jealousy, hypocrisy, and everything else. Not for me sinning against you. No,
listen, okay. To this day, them questions still get asked.
That's right.
And we still get no answer.
What sin was committed? What they didn't mention a sin. Really? So what justifies the hatred?
Ooh.
Man, you know what? Now that you say so, yeah. I know. Shalom, shalom, Anita Williams. Shalom, BB, NehemiYAH. Mina J.
What up, Mina J?
Mina J.
What it do?
Pennsylvania. Tuvia, Labanaya, Hebrew, Marcus Yisrael, Cassiah. Welcome. Come on, man. Let's go ahead and petition the heavens, y'all. We about to face Jerusalem.
Where you at, Yuck Ellie? Pull up. You local.
Yeah, you local. Pull up.
Go over there and slip them over.
Take your moccasins off. Pull on up. You be having to constantly stay on Yuck Ellie, boy. Trying to tell you. All right. So yeah, y'all, we got a few families and a few people we need to bring before the mercy seat of the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? My sister Lex, the wife of my beloved brother Mordecai, has went into labor. Went to labor kind of early, but
Active labor.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, ain't nothing too hard for the Almighty. All right, so we're gonna pray for provision. You understand? A healthy baby, a healthy delivery. You understand? Also, the in-laws of my Aunt Shimshon, 12 tribe athlete, going through some things, the devil attacking their marriage. So we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, bring them before the mercy seat. Pete just said he having problems too, and also the household of my Aki, you understand? So, you know, and also we're gonna pray against the coronavirus. Y'all know how we get down. It just is what it is. When y'all face Jerusalem, let's go ahead and you know, offer up some prayers before the mercy seat of the Almighty. Y'all again step the prayer game up. When you're not praying, you're actually telling the Most High, I don't need to be in communion with you. Nothing to talk about. Now, how is that? How you ain't got nothing to talk to him about? But the Messiah prayed all nights for thou.
Oh, thou lights.
Makes no sense.
Old man gotta grab a chair to get down.
Oh. All right, y'all. Face Jerusalem. Down here, we get on our knees. You understand? Bow before the Almighty, and let's get her done. All right. Heavenly Father, Yod, Hey, Wav, the great I am that I am. Yahweh, El Elyon, we bring before your throne our sister, your daughter Lex, the wife of our brother Mordecai. We bring before your throne my Aunt Pete in his situation. You know his situation. We bring before your throne the in-laws of our Aunt Shimshon, 12 tribe athlete. And we bring before your throne our Aki and his household. And we bring before your throne all the sick in Israel. Heavenly Father, in the name of your only begotten Son, and by his mighty and precious blood, loosen your ministering angels of healing. Command them to rain down a healing that is complete, a healing that is understood right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against, attack, break the back, and bind whatever strong man there is over our sister Lex in the house of Mordecai. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against and attack, break the back, and bind the strong man of whatever the strong man is or whoever he is that's afflicting the house of PP, the house of Mordecai. We cast him down and cast him out to a herd of swine right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh El Elyon, use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against and attack, break the back, and bind the strong man of division that's plaguing the in-laws of Shimshon, 12 tribe Israel, 12 tribe athlete. We bind them and we cast them down and cast them out to a herd of swine right now. Right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh El Elyon, use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against and attack, to break the back and bind the strong man of whoever the strong man is attempting to afflict the house of my Aki and our Aki. We command to cast him down and cast him out to a herd of swine right now. Right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and by his mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh El Elyon, Yahweh Rofe Gava Rofanu. We bring before your throne all the sick in Israel. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against, attack, break the back, and bind the strong man of sickness, bind the strong man of burning, inflammation, and fever, bind the strong man of the flu. Bind and break the back of the coronavirus and cast him down and cast him out to a herd of swine right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh El Elyon, use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against and attack, to break the back and bind the strong man, whoever he is attempting to afflict my Aunt NehemiYAH at this very hour, him and his very household. We render him powerless. We cast him down and cast him out to a herd of swine right now.
Right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and in His mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh El Elyon. We bring before your throne even all of our enemies in this very hour, whether they be Israelites or whether they be Gentiles, whether they be foreigners or whether they be domestic. We bind them. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against and attack, to break the back and bind the strong man of murder, hatred, hypocrisy, ego, pride, slander, tale-bearing. Render it powerless right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. We cast him down and cast him out to a herd of swine right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh, loosen your ministering angels of provision. Yahweh, Yahweh, El Elyon, loosen your ministering angels of provision. Command them to rain down the blessings of Abraham upon this assembly and all that is connected right now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, rain down the blessings of Abraham, your friend, right now, and command the blessings to abound more and more. Command the blessings of Deuteronomy 28 to chase us down, to follow us wherever we go. May it be evident in the midst of our enemies. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray, Yahweh El Elyon, Yahweh Zebaoth, loosen your most militant, elite, angelic warriors to come against, confound, put down any and all opposition that is against our people in this very hour, whether it be unclean spirit or disease, seen or unseen, visible or invisible, tangible or intangible, physical or spiritual, and render a judgment in our favor right now. Right now. Right now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and by his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Your word says, whatever we ask for, we shall receive. Knock and it shall be open. No demon, no disease can even conquer us, because we attack Satan and his kingdom from our position in Hamashiach Yahushua, who has the preeminence, who has the lordship, who has the supremacy. This ain't black power, it's Yahushua power. In this very hour, we here to step on Satan's neck. We here to break his back. We here to serve him and his demons notice. You understand that they have been cast down and defeated. You have no authority here in the minds of the Most High's people. You have no authority here within the body of the Most High's people. You have no jurisdiction amongst the spirit of the Most High's people. Heavenly Father, restore our fragmented minds, our subconscious mind, our unconscious mind back into its original and proper position, that we may one day rule this earth in righteousness. We may rule this earth under Hamashiach Yahushua, our beloved Son, who's currently sitting at that right hand. Use us as your battle axe and weapons of war to raise the dead, cast out devils, cleanse lepers, and heal every manner of sickness. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to give sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, speech to the dumb, and strength to the lame. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to cast down and stomp out serpents, scorpions, principalities, Leviathan, and every ruler of darkness. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war, that in our very presence and shadow the devils cry out and flee, and your people are delivered right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach. I cover honor and humility with the blood of Yahushua Mashiach. I cover the leaders in Israel with the blood of Yahushua Mashiach. I come against every spirit of pride and ego that is even plaguing the Israelite leaders in this very hour. We bind them, we break their back, and we cast them down into a herd of swine right now. You have no authority over this nation. You have no authority over those who are in Mashiach Yahushua. I plead the blood of Yahushua Mashiach against every unclean spirit. I plead the blood of Yahushua Mashiach against every so-called disease. I bind you, break your back, and render you powerless and cast you out right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. Cover all of us, Heavenly Father, with the blood of Yahushua Mashiach, those that are local and those that are online. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and by his mighty and precious blood, we pray, render judgment in our favor, and we're going to give you all the glory. And we thank you right now for the victory. right now for the victory. Right now for the victory. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, Torah Rabbah, for your sacrifice, the ultimate act of love. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Go ahead and bust these guns, baby.
Don't be scared to shoot out.
Yeah, let's bust these guns, man. Yeah. Yeah. Pray till you feel it.
Right, all right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Boy, be those prayers, boy.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, that's needed.
Man.
Understand? Bang hard, baby.
Well, some people came in while we was praying, brother.
Yeah.
Went up a couple.
Yeah, bang hard, baby. That's what we supposed to do.
Yahoo.
Attack the strong man. Break his back. Render him powerless.
Take away from him everything that he tried to take from you.
Yeah.
It was yours. Promised to you by the Heavenly Father. So, all right, y'all, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump on to it. Esther ain't too long. And we're going to hit the definitely most important parts. And then at the end, there's going to always be something if NehemiYAH prayer is going to be a hot topic ending.
That's right.
For the
GBI.
Esther. Stick around.
That's right. That's right.
Stick around.
All right, if we can be heard properly, y'all go ahead and throw a Yahoo up in the chat. All right.
Shout out to Marcus.
Who say chills. Hallelujah.
Dee, Rodney.
That's what we supposed to be doing. Y'all praying. Like get militant and radical in your prayers. Stop praying like you a heathen. You're not heathens. All right. You're not Ned Flanders. What is it you want? Ask the Most High and attack Satan
in full faith.
That's right. To y'all say your whole body lit up. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Right.
Hey, look.
Say chills. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's how we boast.
We got motion.
We got motion, baby.
All right. And total everybody for all y'all arms, man. They greatly appreciate it. They are used, man, for the ministry and for the going forth of this word so that we could be here with y'all a few times during the week, on the weekends, so that we all can eat. A lot of people come in town. We try to make sure they all got places to, you know, they ain't got to pay for food if we can help it.
That's right.
You know, places to sleep.
That's right.
Bathe, clean up, wash clothes, all that, man. So we really, really try to be the examples that we supposed to be because our God called us to be.
That's right.
He gave it to us to give away. And that's the only way you're going to ever know true love until you give it away. Like how Christ gave his life for us. That was the true act of love. That's why he said, no greater love than he that laid down his life for a friend.
Lord, yeah. Shout out to Judah Moshe. Judah Moshe just hit me up and say, brother, I just did a casting out and a healing of a sister. Thank you so much for being a good brother in my life, brother.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
To show brothers how to get down spiritually, brother.
Hallelujah.
Hey, look, it ain't my knowledge, the Most High's knowledge. Our job is to show our brothers and sisters how to wage war. Judah, look at him, okay? Just, hallelujah, brother. And bust your guns. That's what we supposed to be doing out here. Bust them guns, spiritually speaking. You know what I'm saying? Now we doing the commandments, you know what I'm saying, that Messiah commanded us to do. So all praises, glory, and honor. Also, y'all, we coming up on a year down here at the headquarters.
Be a year next month, bro.
Next month, be a year in a few weeks. Huh?
Boy, not bad for some hobo Hebrews.
Not bad for some hobo Hebrews, bro. We ain't, matter of fact, we just procured and made sure the rent was straight for the whole month of March. So
look, again, these are the things that your arms goes toward. And listen, and listen, we put in too.
That's right.
So it's not just the all give and no take, man. Listen, we try our best to be that people that the scriptures call us out to be.
And that's what it is, you dig? And a lot of people's praying against us. Let's see if y'all last 30 days. We'll be coming up on a year. So hallelujah, all glory to the Most High. All right, so look, let's get her done.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to share this screen. We had our Yahoo, so we know we good.
Yeah.
Hit the share screen. Tap on this deal. Hit share. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and feast on this word, a little taste. So again, we're talking about the extermination of the Jews. All right. You see it going across the bottom. And we're talking about our sister, one of our ancestors, her cousin Mordecai and her, and how they stood in the void for Israel as a whole.
That's right.
They didn't take what good fortune they had or could have had and ran with it, said, well, I got mine, you got to get yours. You know what I'm saying? This is during the same time, like our brother, has spoke well about, is during the same time of dealing with this Mordecai and Esther. You also dealing with Ezra and Nehemiah. So again, they went back to rebuild, but they stayed, right? So you can't do certain things because of my captivity.
That's right.
These things were done in and after the captivity and the rebuilding. Today you would call it slavery, post-slavery, and reformation during this dispensation.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? See, it's the same. That's how you know you are these people. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna jump right on in. We're gonna go right on in. Start off at Esther chapter 1.
Yeah, we're gonna jump around a little taste. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go to Esther chapter 1. We're gonna read 1 through 5, and then we're gonna jump down to verse 10. All right. Let us know when y'all there. Okay, NehemiYAH, you got it up on the screen.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get her done. All right, this first part is called King Ahasuerus' Royal Feast. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia.
So understand that's going from the Middle East. I mean, my fault, even further, right?
Yeah, what you call the Middle East or Asia. India is on the Asian continent.
In Asia, what you call the Asian continent. All the way to Ethiopia. So you're going all the way back into Africa. So you covering this large land, man. If you picture the African thing, the picture, and I'm gonna probably look backwards from the way I'm saying. You can picture Africa, go east of Africa, carry that area, and come all the way back into Africa. And that's how much area we covering.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, later on, you probably can pull a map up, you know what I'm saying, and show just Ahasuerus, you know what I'm saying? Just go to the extra tab or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Google, you know what I'm saying? King Ahasuerus lands in the book of Esther, and then go to images. All right, and what you're gonna see is from India all the way over to what you would call Northeast Africa. All right, 127 provinces. Newsflash, y'all. These are melanated countries. Melanated countries. Remember that. All right.
All right. So I did just type in the word map, go to images. This one right there.
Right there, boy.
All right. Probably should just blow that up, made it large.
Yeah, because you went to the whatchamacallit, but you can still blow it up.
Yeah, we can.
All right. Right there, everything in the inland. I'm way over to Ethiopia.
So if y'all know anything about the landmass over here dealing with this, so you're dealing with, remember, Israel is kind of like what you would call the crown of Africa. So over here where you see Egypt is, you're up in northern Africa, down in Persian Empire doing 539 to 333 BC. So you got the Red Sea. This is the sea we crossed, right? You got over here where Israel and all of them would be. Then now you're going over toward Asia and what you would call the Middle East, right? Over across what you call the Indian Ocean or the Arabian Sea. So this is a large, almost the same landmass size, not quite, that you had for Abraham's covenant.
Exactly.
It's for Abraham's covenant
River
to the Euphrates.
Euphrates River, yeah.
So just to give you an idea, and then mind you, if you go north directly above Africa, you'll be starting to head into the European countries like where you're Rome and all that is as well. So just to give you some context of how large of land that we're dealing with and how many Israelites were scattered in these lands. So understand when Israel left from over here in these areas, guess what? And notice how they call it, Babylon.
That's right.
See right here? My finger going across it on the screen, Babylon. Some of my people went back to Israel. See right here, this is where Jerusalem is. You see, it's got a name right here. But some of our people stayed over here. All right? And this is where Esther and Mordecai was going to stay at. And this is where Ezra and Nehemiah came back to. All right? So Nehemiah, Ezra, and them came back here to rebuild. Right? And that hot topic going to be touched upon. And then we'll see how Esther and Mordecai and them fared when they stayed behind. All right, showing that Israel was still scattered in different provinces, even post-slavery or post-oppression, if you want to call it that. All right, so we're going to go back to the book of Esther, And we're going to read that verse 1. So now you got a picture of it while Mally reading it.
That's right.
I'll go ahead and go back to the picture.
Geography is very important when dealing with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Most of our people, you ask them where Afghanistan is, they don't think somewhere in Mississippi. You understand? Geography is very important. All right. Esther chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 127 provinces.
Woo.
Straight up. Verse 2. That in those days when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace.
Hold on, go ahead. We just saw Shushan. So it's all up in this area over
Susa,
here.
right there.
Yep, Susa.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. All in this area right here. All right, go ahead.
Which was in Shushan the palace. In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media,
Ooh.
the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him. Y'all, this is ancient Iran today. You know, Iran was ancient Persia.
Hold on, we'll pull it up.
Yep, ancient Iran, or what you know is Iran, there was ancient Persia and Media. You understand? Which is all those different border states that border them to the east, to the north, and to the east. Which just so happened to be Iran is backed by Russia to this very day. All right, so they were an ancient empire, and they will rise back up according to the prophecy in Isaiah 13, Jeremiah chapter 50, Jeremiah chapter 51, many other scriptures. All right, verse 4. Somebody at the door.
Yeah, we're going right here.
Verse 4. When he
This
showed,
guy, this is a good one too. While you're reading it, kind of say, "Why go get this door?"
okay. Verse 4. When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. So look, he had him a feast for 180 days. Strip off that. 180 days he had a feast. He did shalom. What's the word? What's the word, Hebrew? How you be? What's going on, young prince? How you doing? You all good? We online rapping with our people about Purim. We in the book of Esther, chapter 1. Book of Esther, chapter 1. I'm gonna start back over the 4th verse. How y'all doing today? All good? Oh,
Boy, I'm loving that chain, bro.
Yeah, Lord, yeah.
Hebrews know they be looking good, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to talk.
About to put order in, you know. All right, Esther, chapter 1. All right, we're gonna start again in verse 4. It says, when he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. So 180 days. 180 days he held a feast, which is what? 6 months?
It was 3.
That's a half a year.
What you would know today?
They was partying. You understand? All right, verse 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace. So when he was done with that, he went an extra week. Like 6 months ain't enough. He went an extra week after that. All right. All right, we're gonna jump down to verse 9. All right. Also, Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus. All right, so he throw a feast for 6 months, and then he throw a feast for a week for the rest of the people that is in his province. And then his wife, or the queen at the time, she throws a feast strictly for the women.
Strictly for the women.
You got something you want to say?
No, that was it. You already hit it, because understand what was going on is that who feasts for 6 months? They conquering. So they celebrating their victories. You know, to the conquerors go who? The spoils.
Shit.
See what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and deep more into this history. I don't want to draw it out with ad-libs too long.
Yeah, verse 10, on the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, feeling good, right? He commanded Mahuman, Biztha, Horbona, Bigtha, Abagtha, Zithor, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal. With the what?
the purple bag.
Most y'all drinkers of that Crown
Boy,
Royal, that butt.
The Crown of Royals. It's nothing new under the sun.
Oh man, with the Crown Royal. Basically telling her to show up in her royal apparel. Her royal apparel, should I say, with the crown royal to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look upon, or look on, very fair, very fine, you would say today, right? Look at that crown royal, huh?
And that's why people are always told never to lust upon a woman or dealing with her for her beauty. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes us down a dark path.
To throw you off.
You know what a man do for the beauty of a woman?
So he feeling good while the feast going on. He said, "Where my fine wife at? Tell her to go ahead and put on her crown royal. Tell her to go ahead." Matter of fact, he wanted to show his wife off. He wanted to show how fine the queen was, you know what I'm saying, to everybody that's there. You know, just basically, you know, trying to get him one off, you know how they go. All right, verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Now see that? He commanded his woman or his wife, the queen, to come, and she didn't come. You feel me? Now,
and this was done publicly as well.
Yeah, in front of everybody. This is the ancient world, right? It ain't like the dragons of Babylon today. Man tell you to do something, you like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do what I want to do. This is the ancient world. There's consequences and repercussions for not listening. You understand? And y'all, the Bible was written in the ancient vibration. It wasn't written under this demonocracy you call America, and you can just do what you want to do and live your best life. And basketball housewives and housewives, all that's of the devil.
Yeah,
all that's of the devil. You sisters that's listening online, you don't want that Vashti spirit up in you. You understand? Your power comes with your submission to your husband.
Same way as the men of Israel. Our power comes from our submission to our husband, who is who?
That's right,
Christ.
Messiah.
And Christ's power comes from his submission to who?
His father.
His father.
Everything comes into order. Like, what make you think you can do what you want to do? You feel me? Nothing in life operates like that. You can't drive as fast as you want to. You understand? You can't show up to work when you want to. You can't go to school and do what you want to. There's nothing you can do in life you can do. I just want to do me and do what I want to do. And then when you get to what you call the truth, now it's like you think you got free rights and reign. No, it don't work like that. You understand? A woman is under order just like a man is under order. All right? Now watch this. We're going to jump down to verse 15. All right, this is the Queen Vashti's punishment for not listening. What shall we do unto the Queen Vashti according to law? Because she have not performed the commandment of King Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. They like, look, we about to have to draw some law and legislation like they do today on Capitol Hill. In DC, don't they? They draw up law, legislation. Her act of defiance caused a Persian Senate, the open court session to take place. What we gonna do? We need to draw some law against her because she openly rebelled against the king. This caused law to be made.
And look, you see that today because listen, when I was sitting here talking about this earlier, right? So if you paying attention to Missouri, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're actually now, if you look at KSDK, which is Channel 5 here, they went on record today talking about that they're just putting in a bill by the House of Representatives to try to take away the marriage license and make domestic contracts. This for the purpose of what? Trying to get rid of the government out of your marriage. Well, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But the whole thing is when they don't want you to do something or something that's not liked. What was the purpose of the marriage license anyway? Do you study, you'll find what? To make sure that the Negro is not marrying the white person. You see what I'm saying? For 1863, no marriage license. Then you notice true, because all the way up to you got to Lovings versus Virginia in 1967 Supreme Court. Check that out. Lovings versus Virginia. That was a Supreme Court case where the interracial, the white man and the black woman who got married out of their state, in a state that it was legal or wasn't looked bad upon, going up north, and then they came back south and got arrested and locked up for being married and being interracial. That case went all the way to the Supreme Court. It's called Loving versus Virginia, right? Because they was fighting Virginia. Loving versus Virginia, 1967.
Wow.
So when things go wrong and the system don't like you, then law is put together. You see what I'm saying? So understand that's what that was about. And that's what you're seeing right here. Peace.
Okay, verse 16. And Mamukin answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus.
So what you see is being set up is what's going to next come to happen to the children of Israel. Watch this strategy. Watch this mindset. Not only did you offend the king, you offend the princesses. Why? Because the princesses learn from the king and what the order should be. If the order is broken by the king, like here with your son, right? If your son sees something go off against you, don't that hurt him? Because he thinks that can happen to him. And if you don't want that to happen to him, because listen, once the king breaks down, everything under the king breaks down.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what has to be done with that? You got to stomp that out publicly, like it was done publicly to you.
It was done publicly. Her defiance caused laws to be drawn up and put on the books permanently in their kingdom. All right, now watch this. Not only to the princes, it say, and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. He had 127 provinces. They're like, look, if this get out, every woman on the face of the earth gonna rebel against their husband. You feel me?
That's true.
You in a position of leadership, you're ruling, you a king, you call your queen, and she don't come in front of everybody.
In front of everybody. Mind
That's
you,
gonna trickle down, man, and remind you she's throwing a feast only for women. So when the decree come forth and all the women see that she openly rebels against her husband, what you think they gonna do? They gonna follow suit.
teach your daughters, man. That's why wise women have to teach the elder women teach the younger women. This is not acceptable behavior, even in this time. Because you can go in the book of Isaiah chapter 3 and read that warn to my people that caused thee the error. You see what I'm saying? The children run over them, the women are the head of households. You see what I'm saying? This is an error even in Israel.
That's right. Verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women.
Ooh.
Not some, but all, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
That's how serious that thing was.
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered. This is permanent law.
So listen, there's no amendment clause that can be added to this.
Yeah.
This is absolute law.
No amendments.
Boy, no amendments.
No second amendments.
No.
That Vashti come no more. That Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
See, now she gets stripped of everything.
Look, everything. All her fancy amenities.
Her crown
her
royal.
social status. Her estates, her living quarters. All her gold, her silver. Her garments. Everything. Man, that's a major.
Something to nothing.
All she had to do was obey.
And listen, that's actually the Negro mindset today. Let a man be where he in his proper place in order, and then the woman don't act right. What he doing? Snatching everything from him.
Man,
you hear me?
major.
But listen, look at the error. The flip side is what they trying to prevent. Because what about all these men who ain't on their feet and they women up top? You be all be singing Beyonce, radio be on. You must don't know about me. You must don't know about me. I have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. Yeah, that's baby.
Boy, that caused so much rebellion when that came out. Boy, I remember, man, when that came out, boy, if you was on the club scene then, you witnessed a whole club of women.
Boy, from the ugly but ugly to the
I'm talking about direct. I'm talking about every Negro in there had the mumble mouth. Man, that was crazy, boy. You talking about feminism at its finest. All right, now watch this. Notice it says one that is better than she. You feel me? Because what? The one that is better than she is one that's not rebelling, but what? Obedient. And an obedient, submissive woman is better than a dragon of Babylon any day.
Any day.
Any day. America has fooled majority of these women. They have taken on the Vashti spirit or the Jezebel spirit.
Or the Jezebel spirit.
And now watch this. And when the king's decree which he shall make shall be published.
That means made public.
I mean, hey, newspapers, CNN,
posters.
Yeah, throughout all his empire, for it is great. All the wives who give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
No matter what he is.
No matter if he's a rich brother or not. He still deserves honor. Trip off that. 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, and to every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule, that every man should bear rule in his own house. Yes, that's law. That's even a law of the Persians. And that it should be published according to the language of every people.
So all your different people that live in all those different lands and all those different languages,
that's right,
tongues, got it in where they can understand. Same thing we saw Christ crucified, the languages. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with Acts chapter 2.
Yeah.
Every Israelite from every heaven, every nation under the heavens came to keep the feast. Everybody didn't speak the same language no more because why? We've been dispersed. We all in the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't speak Hebrew like we used to no more. So everything was made to a language where you can understand. See, that's how you know the Most High ain't never gonna be mocked. You say, well, I didn't understand what he was saying. No, you won't get that off.
No, you'll never be able to get that off. So if y'all understand what's being said thus far in the chat, if y'all understand, all of this is leading up to a Hebrew queen being selected. You know what I'm saying? If you understand what is being said and the plot that's being laid down, go ahead and throw a Yahoo up in the chat.
Because what you just saw was a mindset.
Love and commandments of the Most High. Absolutely. 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 But you'll see even in this hour, because that Babylonian mindset is still there. The men that are physically abusive and domestically abusive get more honor than the brothers who are straight up men of the Most High ain't even into all that.
Facts.
You understand? That's actually ruling in love, and you know what I'm saying? There to teach you and guide you and to protect you. The men that go gorilla and whoop the wig off your head get more honor and respect.
Facts.
And that ain't out there for you men to do that because that's weak. Don't be out here whooping the wig off your woman, man. That's weak.
And definitely don't do it around us. Don't let us see it.
Man, look, you're going to get
we'll wig
up
back.
Quick.
You get wig back. I didn't buy it. Nephew,
You understand?
That's right.
But you know what I'm saying? That those things are going on. You dig? And it's crazy because the man that's more eat the cake and I make, and I turn a nigga.
He loves.
The brother that's, there to straight, sacrifice whatever he need to make sure you good. He looked at like, him downstairs.
Him, Mister.
All right, he bro.
Noodleback. Him ain't even getting the name no more.
Oh, Noodleback Negro.
And looking for the next Tupac.
Oh, man.
The next bad boy.
All right, y'all. We're going into chapter 2. We're going to read 1 through 7. Then we're going to jump down to 12. All right, I'm glad y'all understand. But even in the law of the Persians, every man should bear rule in his own house. And whether he's great or small, he is to be honored by his wife.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Hallelujah.
That's what it is. All right, Esther chapter 2. Yes, I'm gonna say NehemiYAH.
No, that's it, bro.
Okay,
I'm enjoying it already. I know where it's going.
Yeah, you see how it's building up.
Yeah.
See how it's building up. All right. Esther chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti. That happened all the time. You get into it, a little taste. But you got to stand on your square.
You got to.
But once that anger seeps out, then you be thinking,
man, I miss my baby mama.
Hold on, man. Why she had to go off like that, right?
Why she had to go off like that?
And what she had done and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hegi, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women.
There it is.
And let their things for purification be given them.
So now he's setting the stage. Listen, we're going to get you out of this rut you in, right? We're going to get that Vashti off your mind.
Yeah.
So we're going to gather all the virgins from the provinces, bring them, because see, there's a thing, listen, purification. Right now, same thing, we had the war clause in Israel, cut the hair, clip the nails, you know what I'm saying, 30 days or more. You know, that was kind of a purification type. Just kind of give you a mindset to get that ready for what the king can go deal with. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's why even most kings had eunuchs that guard their.
Those chamberlains were eunuchs.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even want you to get tempted into, you know what I'm saying?
To knocking off his.
The flower in his virgin. Those chamberlains were eunuchs.
Yeah.
And look, that was considered a high spot in society. But you had to get rid of, you had to be castrated.
You had to be castrated.
Nah, I'm good.
I ain't watching your chicks. You watch your own chicks.
No, I'm good. All right. Things for purification.
Oh, whoa.
Go ahead.
Hot topic. All the women was living together in one house. Next. Keep going.
Yeah.
I know it don't always work.
On the other side, though, you know, this is Shushan the palace. You know,
oh, the palace.
Yeah, this was
with many rooms.
This was the Peabody Projects, brother.
I mean, you can own the building. Hey, make it the quarter, brother. What you mean? Hold on. That's NehemiYAH building right there.
That's right. That's right. This wasn't the one unit in the Peabody Projects downtown St. Louis, brother.
This boy said, boy, you be mad as hell, boy.
You be mad as a bug, boy.
Well, you can't even walk to the bathroom.
Boy, everybody be mad.
The roaches will leave. I'm tired of this tight. It's too tight. Then roaches leave.
One bathroom, one tub.
One look 9 by 7. Oh, not even a 10 by 12. 9 by 7.
1,000 square feet in that sucker, boy. You done 700 square feet. That sucker's small. And it's 3 stories. Small.
Small. Well, even a short legged can touch his head on the ceiling.
Oh man. All right. Here it says, okay, and let the things for purification be given them, verse 4. And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen in place of or instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Now in Shushan the palace, there was a certain Judean or Jew, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, of Benjamin.
So stop. Quick quiz. In the text, what was Mordecai? What tribe did Mordecai come from? Do 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 do. All right. I'll let the text go ahead and float. All right. Solomon got it. Let's get it.
That's right. Benjamin. Benjamin, all right?
This boy said Levi. Only Israel, y'all.
Which mean when you figure out the relationship between Mordecai and Esther, then that means you can figure out her tribe too. Now, mind you, he's ruling over 127 provinces, and over 95% of them, you understand, melanated. You talking about India? The Indians to this day, with the red dots on their forehead, they darker than anybody up in this room.
Yeah,
all the way over to Ethiopia, which is still in Africa to this day. All right, so it shouldn't be that hard to figure out what color the Judeans or the Jews are. You understand? Or them being specifically from the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? Ned Flanders would have stood out in all these 127 provinces. Easily. Bart Simpson would have stood out.
It's like Ned Flanders running into Egypt to hide. Also, Jeremiah, Jude, I'm just messing with you. Hey, brother, this is a place of learning. So, man, you know, hey, we can have fun with each other, but hey, ain't nobody gonna get tight on you. You said, hello, I'm still trying to learn.
No, you all good, brother.
You're all good, man. You're all good.
Welcome home. All right, now watch this. All right, so they are Benjamites who have been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
All right, trivia question. Who was Jeconiah? What famous man in the New Testament came out of the bloodline of Jeconiah?
Probably too hard for most folks.
Oh, okay.
That's Joseph, the husband of Mary.
Ah,
he was that who go back to Jeconiah and all them who go back to King Solomon. All right. Now watch this. It says right here, and he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter. So Mordecai is not Esther's uncle. He's her what?
Cousin.
Yeah, if
it was his uncle.
If that's your uncle's daughter, that's your cousin.
That's your cousin. So
a lot of people be thinking that Mordecai was Esther's uncle. No, that was her big cousin. That was her cousin. All right.
And understand, say again, you know you these people, right? Because 1 minute, hey, somebody's name is Jay, but what's your nickname? NehemiYAH.
Yeah, no doubt.
You see what I'm saying? We always had surnames, especially during the captivities. Go ahead.
That's right. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother. And the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
So that was big cuz.
So that means Esther's from the tribe of Benjamin too. Think about
because they brothers.
Yeah, I'm saying that's his uncle's daughter, right? So his uncle and his father are brothers, right? Which means, okay, so if Mordecai is a Benjamite, that means his father's a Benjamite. That means his father's brother is a Benjamite, his uncle, which had a daughter named Esther or Hadassah, which makes her a Benjamite. You understand? So, Queen, you're reading about Benjamite history, Israelite history, but specifically from the tribe of Benjamin, the southern kingdom of Israel. Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. All right. Who we all know, if you do a little history, are dark-skinned folk. You understand? With woolly hair.
Because listen, wasn't Paul likened to an Ethiopian?
That's right.
Ain't Paul a Benjamite?
That's right.
Oh,
good point.
Niger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. So we read about Black history still.
Boy, this Black history.
Boy, this March.
Boy.
Still reading about Black history.
Boy, Black history. Black
Right.
and black, 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 and black, black,
That's
black.
Right. All right, y'all, we're going to jump down to verse 12 for time's sake, right? Verse 12. Esther chosen as king. Queen, excuse me. Esther chosen as queen. Now, when every maid turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women, for so were the days of their purification accomplished, to wit, or that is 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women.
So if a heathen can wait 12 months to take a wife,
come on, man.
What you Negroes mad about when you hear out of humility say you should court your woman for 12 months?
You be courting her for 6 to 12 months, man. You know
That's all we saying. Now listen, a man gonna do what a man want to do in his house. None of us have jurisdiction there.
That's right.
We just saying, according to scripture, it makes sense, right? Because don't let a heathen get better praise in than you get. Don't let a rock steal your praise. Don't let an Ishmaelite go and pray more to Mecca and to Allah than you do to the Most High God. And you got the God of all gods.
That's right.
You got the power of all powers at your beck and call. How much harder you should be going?
And trip out how they were pampered. 6 months and just bathing in the oil of myrrh.
That ain't cheap, bro.
I'm saying no, it ain't cheap.
That ain't cheap, bro.
Boy, this small vial was full of frankincense right here. You talking about bathing in myrrh. Several
tub full, you know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For 6 months straight.
Listen, we ain't have a woman count. That's a lot of women.
Yeah, and then another 6 months with sweet odors. How many of y'all women like getting pampered like that before you got
Bath and Body Works back then?
You feel me? Before you got chose and taken as a wife. That's part of the courtship. You gotta get soaked in sweet oils and myrrh for a whole year.
Didi told me I'm about to fill up my tub now. Didi told me she about to fill up her tub now.
Yeah.
Our sister crazy.
Y'all heard that? So that's where we get that from. Like, man, look, at least wait 6 months to a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get to know the sister. You understand? Get yourself, y'all get to know each other. Because look, even the king who had all the glory, he could have took whatever concubine or
That
woman
day.
he want. You did, but at least they had something in order to where they would let the women purify for a whole year. In oils of myrrh for 6 months and other oils of just sweet odors. Can you imagine how good these women smell?
But Proverbs 7,
Boy, after a year. Well, you already know us as men love that good smelling, boy. It do something to you. You be like, whoa, what is, you be asking, hey, what is that you
be
got on?
nippling on the ears and
then
biting on the neck.
The woman be fronting like, you know, that's just how I smell. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. You got something rubbed on that. I don't know what's going on.
You ain't smell like natural juices and berries. That little oil of a leg.
Oh, man. All right, come on, Hebrew. We in verse 13. Then thus came every maiden unto the king, whatsoever she desired was given her to give with her out of the house of the women into the king's house. We'll jump down to 15. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the woman, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. She was a fine Benjamite, man. Fine Israelite. And to this day,
now you know her daddy name.
Abihail, right? And look, and to this day, there ain't a woman on the planet that can compare to the daughters of Zion.
No.
Think about it.
No.
There ain't a woman, there ain't a nation of women on this planet that can even compare to the daughters of Zion. And the crazy part about it is this. The daughters of Zion ain't even exalted how they was back in the ancient times. They in a lower state now. You feel me? Drinking fluoridated water and living in the ghetto and eating food stamp food and they still outshine the women of the other nations.
That's right.
Can you imagine, you understand, when she gets put back into her proper order and her proper position? Boy.
Hey, look. How about some of you Israelite daughters can testify even in the chat, right?
Yeah.
When you was out here in the world doing what you did, you know, I know a few of y'all personally. Do what y'all did was, you know, out clubbing, drinking. I know a few of y'all here.
Yeah.
Listen, but when you put that head wrap on and that long dress and them fringes, boy, your stock went through the roof.
Yeah.
Roof. Boy, you became the Michael Jordan of females then.
That's right. You sisters should be challenging each other. You understand? To be virtuous, put back on your ancient apparel, ancient, and go by your ancient customs, and better off, or more important, be in that ancient spirit of a daughter of Zion. Don't be a dragon with a head wrap. That ain't no good. You just look like you Israel, but really your spirit is still that of Babylon.
Still carnal.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And this is to big up the sisters. You understand? Like when they are in their proper capacity, you understand?
Ain't nothing like
ain't nothing more powerful, more beautiful. You understand? A man that killed the world 100 times over to make sure you good, to make sure you protected. You understand? But y'all got to come on home now. Like quit thinking you can wait to the last minute like the thief on the cross to get it right. Most I ain't dealing with that. You know, he done raised up teachers in this hour to tell you, like, look, this is what you need to be doing in this very hour. And in y'all position, y'all, that's where y'all power is at. Your power ain't in being a dragon of Babylon.
No.
You understand? Because the men that's stepping up in this hour ain't gonna deal with it. I'm not dealing with no dragon of Babylon. You ain't trying to be around by.
Cause listen, you gonna get your carnal dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can get that any day, all day. And listen, let's continue.
All right, where we at?
16.
Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house, royal, in the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the women.
Ooh.
Above all the women.
Well, love that Benjamite Israelite.
Above all the women.
That's the ones of his nation and other nations.
Yeah. And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins.
Ooh.
So that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
See that, y'all? Virtuous, beautiful, you know what I'm talking about? And was made above all. Listen, now, not being corner, but you know what I'm saying? Listen, you know, we all love that new. This is better than all that new. what Esther had, Hadassah.
It was something even flowing out her pores, being her spirit too. Remember, because they all virgins. He ain't even, you know what I'm saying, got physical as of yet.
It's just flowing
You know what I'm
from
saying? It's just when the Most High's favors upon you, you understand? You just attract what it is. It's just His grace is poured upon you. You understand? On top of that, it don't hurt that she physically fine as well. You know what I'm saying? That don't hurt at all.
disclaimer. It don't hurt if she look good.
Yeah, you don't want no walrus. You know what I'm saying? All right, verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king. All right, we'll jump down to verse 21. Mordecai saves the king's life.
Now check this out. Now, any other time, now listen, now remember we're using today and then of the old world. Any other time, this woman got everything she could want. She got the bag, the king, the gifts, the cars, the palace. She got favor above all. She know her boo-boo don't stink. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But she never dropped the bomb when it came to dealing with her people.
Never. Today, make sure that mindset ain't in you sisters or you men. You understand? Because you got an elevated status in Babylon. And you figure, well, this is my career, I'm doing good, and you stop caring about the condition of your people.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Hadassah never forgot her God or her people.
No.
And even though she living up in a palace
with a heathen
king, preferred above all the women, right? And for y'all that's on the interracial madness, we gonna drop a bomb later on when we get into the editions of Esther. That's some people say, well, you know, because see, she was a Hebrew sister and she married a heathen king. You feel me?
Wait for it.
We're going to get into the editions of Esther later on. You feel me? And it's going, boy,
drop a spiritual bomb.
Spiritual nuke. Like, dang.
And then check this out. And we know that this understanding was in Esther. But NehemiYAH, how you know that? Because remember, she's a Benjamite. So we've been established. So we got to go all the way back to Dinah, right? And go back to the Shechemites. We knew then that we weren't supposed to be mixing. And that was just with the pure 12 only. You know what I'm saying? They ain't dropped no babies yet. It was just the 12 sons, right? And the sister.
No doubt.
And we knew then. How much more did we know over time with that testimony within our history, killing off that whole city?
No doubt.
For taking our sister the way they did. So we grew up with this knowledge, and you're going to see this. I want you to remember all what I'm saying.
And look, and just for a disclaimer over here at Honor and Humility, we do not promote or condone interracial marriages. We don't. It's confusion. I mean, I can't raise my children with that understanding. You understand? Certain situations was done in the scriptures. I mean, you can't deny that, but it is on the record as whoredom. In the scripture, it calls it whoredom.
And no whoredom would make it into the what?
Kingdom. Into the kingdom. Also, you got Deuteronomy 7. Don't give your sons and daughters over to them. It's just what it is. So some people try to use certain loopholes and be like, but look, we gonna keep it simple and righteous over here. We do not condone none of that. You understand? We don't at all. We don't teach that as no assembly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dang, brother, you ain't strong enough to really, tame a sister. So, man, if I was you, I go give me a Becky, or I go give me a Mean Lee.
No,
you know what I'm saying? No, we gonna train you up so you learn how to, you know what I'm saying?
Handle that daughter
and rule righteously. We ain't giving up on our daughters just because they got that stigma of running their mouths. Our job is to train them up and get them together. But we'll never abandon the daughters of Zion just because what? Because what, they running their mouth? No, we gonna get that mouth together. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually speaking, we gonna get it together, and guess what? You're gonna start seeing more and more beautiful unions of Israelites out there. We don't condone on this channel the race mixing, and because you ain't strong enough as of yet, you understand, to tame the sister. Hey, brother, you'll never hear say, brother, if I was you, man, I'd go give me a heathen. Man, please.
No one has ever got that advice.
You never lost your mind. We don't condone none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there for anybody new that's listening. You know what I'm saying? We don't condone it, and we're going to show the scriptures later on It's called whoredom. When you get to the book of Tobit, Deuteronomy 7 tell you ain't supposed to be doing it as well. And in the book of Nehemiah, it says Solomon sinned by doing that.
Called it a
grievous sin.
evil.
You know what I'm saying? So how about we caution on the side of obeying and being obedient, not looking for other instances in the scriptures where it happened. You feel me? And it was deemed okay. Scripture also tell you in time past, the Most High winked at ignorance, but he commands every man everywhere to repent now. You understand? So don't let that, we're supposed to learn from that. That caused confusion when that happened. Learn from it. Don't follow behind it. You understand? Like the one Negro, what's his name, boy? Well, you ain't have to say, well, anyway, you can say,
hey, old boy Shaul love his white snow bunnies and snow money.
Those are his words. I love my snow bunnies and
snow monies. Over here begging every black Israelite for some money across multiple platforms.
It's just what it is.
Hebrew called him
and
out.
If some of y'all offended, good. We talking to you. It's just
and look. I'm gonna tell you like this too, y'all. Listen, I see it in the text. I didn't see who had said it. Listen, every Israelite ancestor was not raped. There's not no statistical data you can pull nowhere. It was not an automatic.
No.
Did it happen? Yes, absolutely. Right? Most of the time, no children weren't even allowed to live because their master didn't want that to be seen. Now, toward the later in the in the 1800s, it's a little bit more permissible to let them live because there was good help. You see what I'm saying? But early on, they didn't want them people to know that they had sex with their slaves. There wasn't no badge of honor. You see what I'm saying? Also, another thing, the Bible fixed that because if you stay with a Judite or one of your own tribe over Israelite after that, to the third, fourth, generation, you come on back in.
That's right.
So the Bible made provision. Listen, your God is not, bro. Your God that cold.
That's right.
He saw that. You think oh dang man, out of all my creation, I missed that part right there. No, man, he fixed that. So by the time the third and fourth generation comes around, if that person who was mixed stays with theirs, then that fixes itself.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's how your God get down.
That's what it is, man. We ain't saying there ain't people out there that are products of that. That's what it is.
We know.
I'm just saying,
but that's the go-to conversation that's always said. Well, many of y'all, no, brother. There's no
all us.
You can't rule of all of us as
look,
great children.
About this, if that's the case, then why is there still a difference between you and white folk?
Why they still treat you
after 400 years in Egypt? Why was there still a difference between the Egyptian and the Israelites?
Come on, man.
If all y'all was raped, stop it.
Come on, man. Because then you should be brought home. Then
exactly.
That should be kissing you in your mouth.
You should be decreed a white man now. Then you should be decreed an Egyptian back in the day. You understand? We got to stop just throwing certain things out there. It's what it is. Yeah, atrocities have happened, but like NehemiYAH just said, provisions were made. You understand? For us to come on back into what it is, man. Right? So we don't teach confusion over here. Stick with your own.
He's not the God of what?
Confusion.
Listen, he don't want you to mix your seed in the ground. I'm talking about literal seed in the ground. He don't want you to mix your garment, right? He don't want you to mix with the other nations and their doctrines.
That's right.
Or their gods. But all of a sudden he wants you to mix with their women.
No, come on, man. Make no sense, man. That's how about we love on each other? It's nation time.
Hey, listen.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, but as we get to the end of this, because this is the story everybody like to go to that promotes. Well, she was a Hebrew, but she had to marry a heathen king.
A Persian.
Wait till we get to the end of this. Y'all gonna see.
Stick around.
And then ask yourself, is that your mindset?
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, verse 21. Mordecai saved the king's life. All right. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Big Than and Teresh.
Boy, he's some black people for real. He's some black. Hey, boy, hey, you know you got a Big Than in your group. Hey, Big T, cuz, what's good? I'm good, Teresh, man. We good, my nigga. Hold that gate down. I got you, cuz. Hey, man, these some black folk for real, boy.
Yeah, these ain't no so-called.
Yeah, these ain't no Gentile. I mean, wait, Gentile, they ain't no heathen. They ain't no Europeans.
Yeah, who you know is Europeans
today.
That boy say Big Than and Teresh of those which kept the door were wroth and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus.
See, you know that's there
Right.
again. That the Negro or the so-called black something
Yeah,
hating on the man that got something,
trying to assassinate.
him, bro. Woo! That envy. Let's get it.
And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther the queen, and Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
See, order. Because remember, what did Mordecai do with Esther once her parents died? Even though it's her cousin, he raised her like a father figure. You know what I'm saying? So there's still an order.
PP said pulled up in a box Chevy.
In the old school Chevy, okay. Was riding on them crackers and Vogues back then, you hear me? You know them crackers and Vogues, with little spinners on there, the stars. That's how old Mally is.
Yeah.
Wait, you said disclaimer. That's how old Mally is.
And when the inquisition was made of the matter, verse 23, it was found out, therefore, they were both hanged on the tree, and it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
There you
So
go.
Mordecai saved the king. Basically, he goes and what you call snitch today.
Right.
But had he never did that, you know what I'm saying, and did this act, certain
Them
events
favors
wouldn't
when
have
it
played
came
out
down.
later on, and when the story unfolds. So we heard they were trying to assassinate the king. You understand? He let it be known. He tell Esther, like, hey, look, they trying to take out the king. She let it be known, bang, and guess what? They got their judgment behind it. All right. You understand what we saying so far? Y'all go ahead and throw a Yahoo up in the chat.
Yeah, we want y'all to follow this, man. Follow all the rise and falls and scenarios because the stage has been set.
Yeah. All right, now we in chapter 3, 1 through 5. First, Haman's hatred of Mordecai.
So you know when somebody finds favor with your homie, the other homie ain't happy about that. You hear me? That's that inner civil war. That's some old black shit. That's some old black shit.
And now look, you got Haman, who is an Agagite. And if you trace the lineage properly, you'll run Agag back to the king of Amalek in 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter. Amalek was a grandson of Esau. This guy here is an Edomite. Agag is an Edomite, right? Now, when we get to them extensions of Esther, it's going to call Haman by a different title. You understand? That's related to a famous Edomite in this world. You understand? Alexander the Greek. So, you know, biblically speaking, we can track the biblical Edomites up to Alexander. You understand? Who wasn't a Greek, he was a Macedonian that conquered the Isles of Greece and united all of Greece. You understand? He wasn't a native Greek, he was a Macedonian. But that's a whole nother topic. You know, we got the breakdown on honor and humility if y'all looking for it. You know, and a lot of people that want to argue over who Esau is, I ain't put it out there to argue with you. I'm saying that breakdown ain't never been debunked, as far as I know. You understand? We can connect Alexander the Macedonian, the son of Philip, that became the first king over Greece, back to Esau the Edomite, Jacob's evil twin brother. Using the Bible. You understand? Not using nothing else but the Bible. Now, that breakdown ain't never been debunked, ever. You know what I'm saying? People try to come with, you know, certain things. Well, think about this and think about that. But biblically speaking, we can connect the lineage. Now, you know, everybody else can argue. You can argue. I let the educated Negroes argue over trivial matters. I'm saying we got the breakdown that connects Alexander, the so-called Macedonian, the first king of Greece, back to Esau, Jacob's twin brother.
That's right, Tuvia.
It's just what it is. All right. Verse
3 and 1.
Esther 3 and 1. After these things did Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So he rose high quick.
Yeah. Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Now understand what's going on. Now, Haman comes in. Haman rises even above the princesses. Now, mind you, Morty just saved the king's life, right? Through Esther, right? So nothing ain't taking the favor away from him and Esther, right? The king and Esther. But the thing is, here come a man. Now you listen. Now you know this white man mad now, man. This Negro won't bow. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But peep this. You got Negroes just as weeks ago and still to this day and years ago, still trying to teach obey the law of the land. What was the law of the land? Let's read that again.
Yeah, straight up.
For the king had commanded it.
Concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Uh-oh. So the law of the land was issued by the king. That's a law then.
Yeah, yes, it is.
To bow. It's a mandate.
Yeah.
But what about Mordecai? He's a who?
He's a Hebrew.
He's a Hebrew, a Benjamite, stock of Israel. So, law of the land or the law of the Most High. Key word, he said, and they did not reverence him. Who you supposed to only reverence?
Yeah.
The Most High.
The Most High. It's the same with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Remember, they wouldn't bow.
How about Dan?
Yeah,
Daniel either. Remember, they put out a decree by the king not to pray to your God for what? 30 days. He went immediately into his chamber, open his window, go Daniel 6, you can read it, and pray toward Jerusalem. While in the captivity, while we're in the captivity, the Lord of the land says this. No, I'm going to do what thus said my God say do. Let that be the mind in you as well. I'm tired of hearing that, but they get on my nerves, bro. How do the Negro, listen, all less than you can marry another man. Obey that then.
That's right.
Become subject to that then. Come on, man. There is a righteous rebellion when it comes to either the law. Listen, how about mother and 7 sons?
That's right.
How about Eliezer? We just came out of that feast.
There's many situations.
Many famous stories.
Righteously rebel.
Righteously rebel.
It's just what it is. All right.
2.
Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him, but Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgress? Why break or transgress thou the king's commandment?
Now, well, we know what transgression is, what? Breaking of the law.
Yeah, you breaking the king's commandment by not bowing or reverencing Haman.
So now we ain't got to deal with that no more. Law of the land or what? Okay.
Yeah. Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew or a Judean, right? And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
So here he is again, bro. Now, not only was he hearing it from the servants who said he wasn't doing it, he went to go lay eyes on this situation himself.
No doubt.
And when he went to see it, and he didn't get no love or get the reverence or the command issued to him or given to be done by the order of the king, nah, could you imagine that type of anger swelling up in him?
Right. And look, y'all, if you just obey the laws of the Most High, that keep you in order with the laws of this land. Just obey the laws of the Most High. You already not heard murdering nobody, because that's against the law of the Most High. You already out here not stealing. That's against the law of the Most High. You already not out here committing adultery. That's against the law of the Most High.
That's right.
You feel me? That's the thing. It's gonna come a time to where you gonna have to stand against the laws that are being passed in this land. Just like Mordecai, he had to stand against that. You understand? Don't let you being comfortable in Babylon. You dig?
Make you
and
conform
then the
to
time
Babylon.
come knocking to where, all right, what you gonna do? You rocking with the Most High or not? And then you think you got an excuse or an escape clause not to follow the Most High, because after all, it says follow the laws of the land. You see? Now you got many stories in the Bible where men stood up and said, "Man, look,
don't let nobody one verse.
I'd rather eat cat dung with a knit needle than go against the Most High's command." So all you got to do is obey the laws of the Most High, and they keep you in order. You understand? For the most part, the police can't even mess with you, because you're not out here being what they call, you know what I'm saying, a little gang banging Negro or nothing like that. You doing what the Most High say, and that keep you out of, you know what I'm saying, Satan's clutches. So that's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's telling y'all to get out here and murder. You know,
no. You're I'm glad you cleared that up.
Or even, you know what I'm saying, like, be smart about it. Even if you, like, you know what I'm saying, don't be out here running red lights and
Right now, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta say that though.
You dig? Use wisdom, but this land is passing laws that's totally against your God. When you gonna stand? And when it's time to stand, or you gonna
stand?
Or you gonna make an excuse and say, "Oh no, man, because I want to keep it safe, my neck on the line." These men stood against the laws of the land, even if death was on the table,
even for pork.
And you don't even hear that today. You know what I'm saying? A man to go eat that pork chop sandwich. A man would have bowed.
Asked for some smothered onions.
Let Donald Trump and came up in her. You know what I'm saying? And you was a bootlicking Negro. You'd have been on your kneecaps. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you ain't on the book no more, man. I had put when they had that prayer thing for Donald Trump, I put on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Man, you got a whole group of Negroes with their hands laid on this man praying on him. He's sitting there looking like the devil himself. These niggas.
All right, verse 6. Haman's plot to kill all Jews.
Some Jews.
All Jews.
The Jews I don't like.
All Jews.
The Jews that bow to cool.
All Jews.
All Jews.
And this is how you see how this actually goes back to when Jacob and Esau was in the womb fight.
Yeah.
It makes sense he's an Edomite.
It's the white man against who? The Hebrew.
It makes sense. Or
it's a historical beef.
Because Esau Hebrew too.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Historical beef.
It's historical beef. You can look at the struggle that's still going on today, take it back to right here, and then go all the way back to their mother's womb. You've been banging with him since conception. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. All right. Now, verse 6 knows he want to kill all the Jews, even though he got a problem with one. He want to kill everybody.
And that's the white man's mindset now. They all dumb, they all poor, they all gangbangers, they all welfare citizens. You hear me? By the acts of one, they try to blame it on all.
Everybody. All right,
but the black man is opposite. He loves every white man no matter what he done to him.
Verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai, the people.
And who are those?
Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
So understand what he's saying. When he said destroy all the Jews, all those in Judea, right? And we're all the whole kingdom, so it's all the providences.
That's right.
Right? Even the people of Mordecai, he understood the tribe thing too.
Yeah.
So just destroy the Judeans, who are Israelites. Make sure you get his whole tribe out.
Yeah. CJE, that the Esther 8:17 is showing people converting to the Torah. You understand? Which every believing Gentile heathen gonna have to do if they want to be in the kingdom. You understand? That don't make them Jews by blood.
By blood.
That's a conversion you read. They became Jews because they converted to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Almighty. This is not the time to get simple. You understand? Just like you can't become Chinese.
I don't care how many chopsticks you can hold.
It don't matter how much Confucius you quote, you'll never be Chinese. You understand? You talking about people converting to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Almighty and dropping their idol gods. You understand? When you read Amos 9, those very same people will be had in possession of the real Israelites.
That's right, Isaiah.
That's
2,
the order of the kingdom.
14.
So that's good. They became Jews or converted. You understand? They'll make good servants. See, don't nobody really want to go into that. They just want to say, "Oh, okay, they became that," and it really ain't about that no more. No, that's a lie.
Now they'd be servants
you got to lie
for eternity.
Because if that was the case, that means the prophets were lying. The spirit that the Most High put on the prophets to write, that's a lie.
So the Spirit of God is a lie then.
Or what Christ said in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, those that overcome and keep my works to the end shall have power over the nations or the Gentiles. You understand? And we're going to rule them with a rod of iron, meaning the law is going to be enforced in that day. That's in the kingdom. You understand? So everything about the kingdom got to be put into its proper perspective. That's what people don't want to talk about today. You think because Christ came, we all on the same playing field now. You understand? No,
not, man.
There's a difference. The promises are to you. The covenants are to you.
The salvation plan is for you.
Salvation, meaning rulership, is for you, but that ain't for everybody.
The names on the gate is for you.
The other nations that are there, the remnants of the other nations,
the righteous ones
that are there, will be handmaids and servants to you in your kingdom,
as it should be.
And then you will be serving a Mashiach,
as it should.
Everything in its proper order. All right. So let's get it, Hebrew. Esther 3, verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lots, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar.
So that's 5 years in past. Since he didn't started dealing with Esther, maybe it was the 7th year of his reign. Now we're in the 12th year of his reign.
Yeah. I just explained to CJE. And what you mean don't explain what color the Israelites are? Just a little biblical. So we just did a Black History video. Go back and look at it if you ain't got to understand and figure it out. But it's 2020. Everybody should know by now the Israelites of the Bible or a melanated people with woolly hair. That's easy work. That's easy work. All right. Now watch this. What else you were saying?
No, that was it.
Okay. Verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people.
Ooh! What manner of people is this to have soul laws drawn into them? Here, you've been a peculiar people. Listen, even the other nations know that your laws stand you apart. That's why this nation here knows they have to keep you from your God. Understand that's why they had to wipe you out this time. They got wise over the time of your captivities, right? This ain't no new captivity. Same spirit of the same one of them.
Yeah.
This time it got wiser because they know that you stand apart from everybody else. So they had to erase your God, your people, your mind, your heritage, your culture. You see what I'm saying? So that's why there's a people scattered abroad that's dispersed in all your provinces, like how we are now. But their laws are diverse of all people. That's ours.
That's right.
If we come back to this Torah and HaMashiach, bro, we're diverse from everybody. We're not the same. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you're all good. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them or allow them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries. He willing to pay 10,000 talents of silver to kill you on account of the action of one Israelite Judean.
I'm curious.
Hey, look, this is unadulterated hatred. A plot to kill all of y'all or us based off the refusal to bow by one man. Wow. Wow, this is our history, though. You know what I'm saying? All our holy days, for the most part, is about us being delivered. You know what I'm saying? And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also to do with them as it seems good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. So the king basically like, look, if you say it's what it is, you my right-hand man, I'm gonna give you my king. I'm in my ring with the seal on it. You understand? So if you say it's what it is, then you seal the order with my ring. It's as if I ordered it. You understand? That's just like the day somebody will rush a piece of law across the president's face and say, sign this. And he'll sign it not even looking at it because he trusts his advisors, right? The king is trusting his advisor at this point. Hey, if you say as a people who laws are diverse, that don't listen to me, and you saying, look, it don't even profit me for them to be around, they need to be destroyed, or here, I'm gonna give you my ring. You execute that business. And when they see my signet on my ring sealed, they're gonna understand that it came from me. See, but trip off that. Trip off if your right-hand man is wicked. You trust your right-hand man with all you got. But what if he's wicked and he has an ulterior motive, an underlying agenda? Trip off that. You got something? Go ahead.
Man, I just put on the screen for everybody to see. Let me get a one. Tell me, let me get a one. They can see what's on the screen.
Yeah, we can see it. I see it.
All right. So listen, it says 1 gram costs about $38. At this price, a talent will be worth $400,116.57.
So that's like 1.5 million times 10.
That's 100 million. This boy was willing to set almost.
Or is that 10? Is that 10 million?
What about 10? Well, add a zero. 10, right. It's just add a zero.
Yeah, that's like 10.5
So it's $10 million.
as a bounty on all our heads. What now? That's a bounty right there, boy.
And listen, the ancient world, how much more is that?
Yeah, exactly.
You're dealing with today's numbers. Now, it said right here, in 2016, the price of silver was about $15. It means it dropped down about half. So per troy ounce is about 50 cents per gram. So 33 kilograms, that's what a talent is. A silver would probably be worth about 16,000, but still added 10, that's 160 racks. Even when it dropped down, it's still 160 racks.
Man, look. Boy,
In the ancient world, that's rich. Bro, you barely paid a penny or anything for a whole thing of food. You know how much you could have lived off of for 160 racks in the whole world? Man. Just wanted to share that number, man. It stood out to me. I had to look it up. All right, what first?
All right, verse 13. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews,
Man.
both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
So listen.
Y'all, all look, y'all, it ain't like we didn't know what was coming. It's in the post, meaning it's in the news. In today's time, it's all across the TV. Kill all them Israelites. There's been a $10 million bounty put on the head. It's in all the newspapers. It's across social media. The hit then went down. Trip off that. Trip off the diabolical hatred. This is another situation of government persecuting Israel. That's been going on since the beginning of time. You got something you want to say?
No, I want y'all to understand. Ain't this Deuteronomy 28 all day?
That's exactly.
Did you see how these curses will befall you, like the Most High said, and you be carried away captive? And listen, they have no favor for the young or the old.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Man.
You're watching biblical prophecy unfold, and it unfolds in every captivity.
That's right.
That's how you know you're this people, because it should be a sign upon you and thy seed forever. You read that in Daniel 9, like it was about 11. Said the curses are poured upon you. It was written in the law of Moses because we didn't see it. Makes sense.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Was very crystal clear, ain't it?
Man,
hey, and look, y'all.
You live the life of an Israelite, whether you accept it or reject
it or not. You live this life. You feel me? Don't think for 1 second that to this very day, executive orders are not on the books to exterminate us. You feel me? The executive orders are already on the books to come get at you. The King Alfred plans and all that, that's already out there. That's old news. That was put on the books back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? To kill and destroy who you would call the less fortunate or the minorities. They talking about you. It's been that, right? And we can look back 2,500 years ago and it still was going on. Going back to Egypt, it still was going on. During Messiah's time, an Edomite king put a hit on the Messiah. Still going on, right? Proof is what it is, y'all. And 4 years in Auschwitz can't compare, you understand, to thousands of years history of being persecuted from sun up to sundown.
This is a one-day hit here, boy.
Yeah, and this is in one day they was trying to come for us. And it was put out, it was public news. Now watch this. 14, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink. But the city Shushan was perplexed. Well, y'all see, do y'all see it building up? So y'all, to commemorate this feast, we feasted down here Sunday and Monday coming up. You understand? And it's good for you to teach your children this history so they can understand how precious we are to the Almighty and that we have enemies that are looking to exterminate us.
Because that is the truth.
But they can never do that because why? We are the seeds of the Most High, children of the Most High. Y'all got to understand and so forth. Throw a Yahoo up in the chat. All right. We're working our way on down.
And if any of y'all want to make a donation that's having a problem with YouTube, I'm kind of getting some chatter about that. You can always go to the Cash App and make a donation through one of those
Cash
avenues.
App, PayPal, that's all that. That's all there.
All this in the description box. And in the note section, just put donation for assembly, or if you want the monies to go toward Purim, or however you want the monies to go. Do it that way. And trust, we'll make sure we get it that way. And if you need verification, let us know. And we will definitely send you verification that the funds went to where exactly you wanted them to go.
No doubt. All right, y'all get some understanding. Go ahead and throw a Yahoo up in the chat. And let's keep it moving. Y'all see, it's in the news. Kill all them Israelites. And look, he want to kill all of us based off the action of one of us.
That's frighteningly accurate to today.
Man, that's a butt naked hatred right there. That's a hatred that look, that's somebody that got blood in their mouth. Straight up. All right. All right. Esther chapter 4, verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes.
Y'all go to the technique of prayer again, and we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, everybody know how to turn toward what direction. Everybody know how to lift your hands with no wrath, no doubt. Every people also know how to prostrate. But listen, there's an upgrade. There's an ash aspect. There's a sackcloth aspect. There's a renting of garment aspect. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you're going to hear a hot topic aspect at the end of this. It even gets even deeper than that when it comes down to up and the prayer. It's not a game. Let's get it out.
And cried with a loud and a bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes.
Sackcloth and what?
Ashes.
Or the ash aspect.
That's how we get the Most High's attention. Understand?
Weeping, lamenting.
Yeah, get lower than a footprint. You know what I'm saying? Like
deny yourself.
Yeah, we really need you to move on our behalf on this one.
And we did it in unison.
That's right.
How you do not commemorate a feast like this? Because the Most High moved with mighty power in this feast. All right. You want to go to 4?
Yeah, we're gonna jump down. We're gonna jump down to verse 10. Jump down to verse 10.
I'm already there.
All right. And again, Esther spake unto Hatak and gave him commandment unto Mordecai, all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death. Meaning you can't just come. Mordecai was telling Esther, look, go holler at your husband, go holler at the king. Now, there's a decree that just went out, but it's signed and sealed by the king's ring, but Haman got his ring. You need to go holler at the king and let him know what this is about.
Go above his head.
Right. But in order for you to holler at the king, guess what she got to do? She got to come before him, and he ain't even called her yet. Showing you the woman couldn't just bust in the room and say, I need to talk to you. She couldn't come before the king unless he had called her. And if you show up and you not called, you get put to death.
And listen, where did that come from? Remember, we just read that in chapter 1. Because the woman didn't come when he called, then it was put on record. So the opposite of that, you can't come when you want either. You can't pop up like that.
Exactly.
You got to be called for.
That's right.
Because that was the whole thing. He called for his queen, Vashti, and she didn't come. So, hey, you come when I called in.
Anna Blur, you say you like Easter, huh? That's a typo. I know it's a typo. I had to mess with it.
I should be like,
Anna
Easter.
Blur said one of my favorite events in the Bible is the story of Easter. I know that's a typo she wrote. All right. There is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. And they told Mordecai Esther's words. Verse 13, Mordecai's charge to Esther. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
Oh,
don't think just because you laid up in that palace, and when this go down, you know what I'm saying,
you don't
won't get away scot-free. You want to say something?
No, just don't think you won't get hit. Listen, and listen. As a black man, any move that I make for this nation cannot be made without the thought of my black woman and black child. You hear me? If you are running around here talking about you oppressed by the white man, one thing that you ain't never seen is the white woman leave his side. Look, the white woman is with that white man. So when he's saying, listen, just because you a Jew with that white man, that ain't gonna save you. You're not exempt from this.
You a Hebrew with that Persian.
You see what I'm saying?
Persian. Haman was the Edomite.
Yeah. Yeah, restroom good.
Yeah, go ahead up.
So
he letting it be known that just because you up in the king's palace, don't think you ain't gonna catch no blowback behind this.
Exactly.
Because your people about to get slaughtered. You need to stand up in the void and say something. All right. Verse 14, for if thou altogether hold thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But you and your father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
So listen, how do you know that this was not your purpose?
That's right.
What, but for this exact event? Because listen, if you hold your peace, this is what Mordecai really saying. If you hold your peace at this time, don't worry about it. There's still going to be an enlargement and deliverance. Who do you think he was talking about? The Most High going to listen. We are thoroughly convinced the Most High going to move in this thing one way or the other. You better be purposed for this mission to which you might have been made for, or if not, there will be an enlargement and a deliverance of his people.
Flat out.
And because you in the house with this king, you're going to be taken out with him then. So you ain't going to be safe either way. Whether you think you're going to be riding out because you got favor, or because you got favor, you ride it out and everybody else die. Because there's going to be a deliverance of Israel out of this.
Yeah.
That we know. Because Israel will not be wiped out. God promised that. Unless they can number the stars in the heaven, the sands of the sea, or the depth of the earth, seed of Israel will remain. Go ahead.
Right, meaning it don't matter what you throw at us.
No matter.
We still here, and we still multiplying, right? So again, let this mind be in y'all that got success in corporate America, whether it's men or women. Don't think just because you got your little fancy amenities and you got it good in life, you understand, that when a decree go down to get rid of your people who are looked at as nothing,
you better be
that you're going to be able to ride on the high hog forever. No, judgment coming to you too. So he's saying, look, this is your purpose. You were brought into this position. This is your purpose. This was foreordained for you. That you may be what? Instrumental in delivering the Most High's people. You understand? But make sure you stand up. Don't let your position or your social status kill that revolution spirit in you. Because you got it good. You understand? Eventually, you're going to have to stand up and do what it is. You understand? Think about all those that stood up, that got their names in the Bible. They was great men and women that were willing to sacrifice their lives so you could live. That's what true love is. Claim you love somebody, what you didn't sacrifice for them, what you didn't gave up for them. Now watch this. 15. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day.
I also and my maids will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
Ooh.
That's a soldier right there. That sister is harder than a lot of these men these days. She's like, I'm gonna put my neck on the line.
And if I perish,
if I die, I die. But guess what? Fast and pray for me 3 days. We're gonna declare a fast, dry fast. You understand? No food, no water,
drink.
Pray, sackcloth, ashes. You dig? After 3 days, I'm up in there. If I die, I die. Let that mind be in every sister that's listening. Let that mind be in every brother that's listening.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Your God and your people come before your little social status. In America, come before your social status on Facebook or Instagram. You understand? The Most High deals with people. He call people like this great. You know why? Because they were willing to die so you could live.
That'll be a testimony in Israel.
Think Messiah died so you can live. You understand? Judah Maccabee and them put their lives on the line and died so you could have the feast of dedication.
Morning, Mother 7 sons, Eliezer.
You understand? Moses and put their lives on the line.
Definitely did.
You understand? Mother and 7 sons, Elder Eleazar, put their lives on the line and died so you can live.
Abraham, for Lot and them.
Come on, man, stop it. You got this Babylonian spirit where I'm just gonna try to soften the blow. Look, it's coming.
Samson did.
Jacob's trouble is coming. You did. Ain't nothing you can do but stand up and be great. When you gonna be great in your life? How long you gonna be mediocre and subpar and scourged? This sister just said, if I die, I die. 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. All right. We in chapter 5 is heating up. What you got to say, Nehemiah?
I say, look, we have to be stand up in this hour, man. Listen, there's nothing that's not on the table. Meat was on the table, rebel. Bowing, rebel. You know what I'm saying? When it goes against the law of God. Now, naturally, where you at now, you kind of look because anybody coming up with you forcing you to eat no pork right now. But the nigga over there eat it with no problem. Give him a little barbecue sauce, some hot sauce, he's going to, you know what I'm saying? But that was a great thing that went on in these type of stories where you see that the Spirit of God was so much with them that they was willing to put it all on the line. To the fact where, listen, a coward's name ain't ringing through history. Only those who are called to be great names ring through history.
Yeah. The cowards don't even.
When have we last read the book of the cowards?
Man, look.
The book of the knee knocker.
Man, look.
The book of the foot runner. The book of the dip off. You ain't read none of them books. You see what I'm saying? Those who stood boldly in the fear of God have been commemorated. Thus, we are reading these commemorations.
That's right. And let this let this embolden you and give you courage in this hour. It don't matter what they put out across CNN about getting rid of the bruise. Look, when you're done talking, you can't get rid of us. You dig? And even if it costs some of us our lives, so be it.
So
that's what this woman just said.
Bro,
if I die,
I perish.
I want to die so my people can live. That's who the Most High is looking for. Me and we ain't looking for that soft.
And pray for each other.
It look like it hurts. Oh, no. Stay on your porch. You ain't even ready for none of this. All right. Chapter 5. Let's start at verse 1. All right. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel, going out clothes, and stood in the inner court of the king's house over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house over against the gate of the house. And it was so when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. Look at that. You know, fasted 3 days, sent up them prayers. She said, if I die, I die. But when he see her, he's starstruck like, dang.
And listen, this is the same God who can either harden Pharaoh's heart.
That's right.
Huh? Listen, your God has been in control. I don't think he's just trying to get you to see, to get you back to where you was before Adam fell, is to trust in him. That's it. That's it. Get back to where I had you at. Full faith. Don't the Most High got faith?
Yeah.
The Most High believes so hard in himself that when he says it, he knows it. Let that, we ain't have to get all the words out. Your thought let us know what needs to be done.
Exactly.
That's faith, bro. The Most High has the greatest measure of faith than anything you ever could see or imagine. To a fact that when you want something, it has to happen because you know it's going to happen. That's that faith right there.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, so now we know that she ain't going to die. Because remember, she said, if he don't hold out the scepter, then whoever show up unannounced, the law is what? Death. But he held it out. She come out and she touched the scepter. A scepter is a staff. Like that symbolizes the rulership. Power.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Every king got some type of scepter or a staff. And it's golden, right? So if he extends the golden scepter out to you, then you know, okay, I ain't going to die. All right. All right, so Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom. Boy, look, the Most High got him so hit in spirit that he willing to give to his queen half of his kingdom. Divide 127 to a Jew. Divide 127 provinces and all his estate in half.
And give it to a citizen of Judea.
Yeah, a Benjamite system. Whoa!
And listen, you know that's the power of women, bro. That's why the man has to be over the woman, whether it's the father with the daughter, transfer power to the husband, right? This type of power is dangerous. Even till you saw John the Baptist lost his head because of this type of power. Exactly what happened. Yeah. And that's why when everybody go to Proverbs 31 to read about the virtuous woman, they don't never start at verse 1. Mom is advised, don't never give your power over to no woman. That way destroys kings.
You say, Tubi, whatever you like.
You see what I'm saying? So we understand the woman got power. Listen, you can't have a nation without the woman.
In her proper order, though.
But she has to be in her proper order. And that's a great nation who has their women and their men in proper order.
Yeah, you ain't none of y'all goddesses ruling over me. Stop it. Verse 4. And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, her up, that he may do as Esther hath said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
So what do you see unfolding? Ain't this still scripture unfolding? Did he say, I will make and prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies?
That's right.
Seeing Psalms unfolding. Huh? Wow.
And the king said unto Esther, that's a good point. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is your petition? Like, what is your request? All right. And it shall be granted thee. And what is your request? Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and then if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king have said. She's like, look, I got a banquet I'm throwing for y'all today, but I got something special for y'all tomorrow. So if I found favor, you and Haman, you understand? The one that's the pioneer or the architect behind destroying the Israelites, y'all show up to this feast. All right. Chip off that. Verse 9. Then when Haman forth that day joyful and with glad heart, he amped like, dang, the queen, I done found favor in the sight of the queen. She didn't invite me to this special banquet, right? But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. Mordecai still rebelling.
Bro, even after the decree to kill is out.
Come on, I ain't standing up for you nor.
And I ain't moving. So listen, Mordecai would have had moved to the back of the bus.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have been in Rosa Parks. No shame on my sister, anything she did. That's not what NehemiYAH is saying right here. What I'm saying is he was gun-ho for his God, that he was unmovable, even at the point of death.
Straight up. Let that mind be in you and us. What are we compromising for?
And when even Christ obedient, unwavering, unmoving,
unto death,
even unto death.
And he became the author of eternal salvation.
As it is written in the book of Hebrews.
Oof, man. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself. And when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh's wife. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children and all the things wherein the king had promoted him and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. Haman said, moreover, yeah, Esther, the queen did let no man come in with the king into the banquet that she had prepared but myself. And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king.
So he was feeling himself. He was riding that high horse.
Yeah, that proverbial high hog, huh, boy?
See, you got to pay attention. Remember, we told y'all to pay attention to the story in the beginning in chapter 1. The same stage is now being set against Haman. Just like how the queen didn't obey in front of all his friends and high ups. Now she's going to call the king to his oath in front of those same friends and high ups. What has to be honored? The king can never fall short of his word.
That's right.
Today you heard a man's not as good as his word and his what? We know what we're saying.
All right, verse 13, Haman's plan for Mordecai. Yet all this developed me nothing so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king, that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. So now his wife then put her mouth on and anointed of the Most High.
And the rest
That's why you gotta watch who you put your mouth on. You could be signing your own death certificate. She done put her mouth on him. 50 gallows, 50 cubits high. Now times that for me, because a cubit is 18 inches.
Hold on.
12 inches is a foot, right?
Hold on.
So do 50 times 18 and divide it by 12, and we'll see how many feet these gallows are. All right, if y'all get some understanding so far, I'll go ahead and throw it. Yahoo up in the chat.
50 times 18 divided by 12 is 75 feet.
That's
a long neck drop.
Look at that. They built gallows 75 feet high to hang Mordecai on. All because he wouldn't bow and show reverence and stand up for this enemy of his.
Bro, if somebody dropped you 75 feet, that's the full weight of your body falling at that momentum, speed, and gravity in your weight. Bro, by the time your neck and that rope cat tension, your neck just falling away from your body. It would be like this. It was just, that's it. Hold on. That's been it. Just that simple. Roll right on up off it. Go ahead, bro.
Not trip off that. All right. So he get gallows built 75 feet high to hang Mordecai on. All right. Y'all see the topic. The destruction, the extermination of the Jews, the history of Purim. Right. And for y'all that don't know, if y'all new listening, this is what you would call Black history. All right. These was Israelites. All right, the Israelites of antiquity, the Israelites of the Bible, or who you would call melanated people with woolly hair. You dig? They are not the so-called European converts you've seen that majority rule Israel today.
So they're not Khazars.
No, they're not Russians, Polacks, Khazars, Germans, none of that. That's not who they are. You understand? Those people were converted into a form of worship of our forefathers. It's basically Phariseeism. The Pharisees that persecuted Messiah, they was converted to their doctrine by who you would call Black Hebrews back in the 8th century. That's where they got the Talmud from and everything. They got it from our people. You understand? So who you see as Jewish people today or Israelis are not the Israelites or not the Israelites of the Bible. And they are not the descendants of the Israelites of the Bible.
It's incorrect.
You understand? We are. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. All right. All right, so right here is chapter 6. We're going to start at verse 1. All right. And this section is called Mordecai's Deeds Made Known. Remember, Mordecai saved the king back in chapter 2. Remember, Big Dan and Teresh was trying to kill the king. Mordecai let it be known and they were hung. All right. Now, watch this. Chapter 6 and 1. You jump in whenever you're ready, bro. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king.
Remember when Mordecai told Esther what was going to happen? Remember it said he wrote it in the what? In the Chronicles. And listen, that's the same thing when we pray to our God. We're supposed to call down the mighty works that he did.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? When you pray, hey, Lord, please deliver us like you did our ancestors out of the land of Egypt, like you did from the Syrians, like you did from Rome. Be that mighty hammer that dropped down, you know what I'm saying, and render judgment on the nations. And call and be in remembrance of his mighty works, so those works will be repeated for you in your life. You see what I'm saying? And for you to recognize it when they're done. Because if you don't know, you're like, oh man, God did something for me. God been doing that for you for the longest. You just never recognized it.
Real talk. Make your mouth agree with the words of the Bible. They're the Most High's words.
Boy,
and his word will never come back void. So you see all type of bold proclamations in the scriptures. I say them every day.
Remember when?
Out loud or in my head.
Right. Remember when? Remember when?
All right. And it was verse 2. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Big Dan and Teresh, 2 of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. And the king said, what honor and dignity have been done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him. I mean, he saved my life, but
we didn't give him no honor.
Nothing was done for him. No honor was done for him, right? And the king said, who was in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. Trip off the timing of the Most High. The Most High make the king dream that night. He wake up and say, what a record's at? You understand? Okay, he saved my life. What honor did I ever give him? That we ain't gave him nothing. Well, who in the court right now? And it just so happened Haman in the court coming to the king to tell the king, look, we need to hang Mordecai. Now watch this. And watch this. He said right here. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself? He's like, oh, the king talking about me.
He talking about me. Him talking about me. So you see what's happening, right? You see what's finna happen, right? So he coming in, so what should I do with the man? You know what I'm saying? Who the king's delight to honor. He said, well, I know you talking about me, man. You know what I'm saying? No, brother. He actually said a whole epiphany about Mordecai. Like I actually owe him one. Because I wouldn't even be here today to give you no power or anything, because I'd have been took out back then.
That's right. Trip off that, right?
Over 5 years ago.
It's like a Negro think he about to get a promotion. Like, oh yeah, I know I got the job, you know what I'm saying? And they call somebody else.
Somebody else's name.
Boy, you got the yank jaw.
Well, you see in all the movies, maybe saying like, yeah, I know I got this. And it goes to put him what?
Exactly. And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought, which the king useth to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal, get that purple bag out of it, and the crown royal, which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal, whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor. He said, man, look, hook him up. Whoever you want to honor, hook him up. And let him be led through the city by one of your most noble servants. Then the king said to Haman, make haste, hurry up, and take the apparel
and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew.
Ooh.
That sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that you have spoken. Everything you said about hooking him up, you better do. Again, the Most I say, boy, I will make your enemies. I will set a table for you in the midst of your enemies. That man coming in there with news to persuade the king to hang Mordecai. The king asked him, what do I need to do to honor him? You know what I'm saying? What should I do to the man I want to honor? He think he talking about himself.
So he talking all big
So
stuff.
he talking like do him like this, put the apparel on him, get him your horse,
right,
put the crown on his head, and make your most notable servant lead him around. He say, as you have spoken, do it to Mordecai. What had to drop out his chest?
Oh, yeah, make you stand on your word.
Look, this man that you hate, that you plot to hang, now you got a parade around town.
The man who wouldn't bow.
The man who wouldn't bow.
Or move out the way.
Man. You can't tell me the Most High ain't powerful.
Well, he just got pumped.
He just got, yeah.
He just got pumped.
He got spiritually pumped, huh? Now trip off this. And then notice the king said that let nothing fail of all that you have spoken. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse and arrayed Mordecai. He had to dress him, had to put that robe on him, right? And brought him on horseback through the street of the city and proclaimed, meaning with his mouth boldly, before him, this shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
Ooh,
And you had to proclaim it.
And listen, you notice that James Brown, bro. The old Godfather.
Yeah.
Remember James Brown that he put down, he put the cape on his. I feel it. Boy, could you imagine, boy, how Mordecai was feeling like, man.
Yeah.
This man, hey, boy, that takes your mind toward the Most High to a high level. Because Mordecai had a confession, and a faith that if you don't do this, this is going to be enlarged. We're going to be delivered. So he did not waver in his faith toward the Most High to the left or to the right. You see what I'm saying? So makes sense for him to get this type of honor and glory, even from your enemy. Because your enemy should serve you. Ain't that end time prophecy?
That's right. And Mordecai had to be feeling good, like this is the beginning of the deliverance.
Yeah, and he ain't lying.
It's the beginning of the deliverance. Look at this. Right? My most hated enemy got to proclaim out of his mouth, this is going to happen to the man whom the king want to honor. My own enemy got to put jewels and crowns on my head, dress and put the robe on my back. My own enemy got to boost me up on the king's horse and parade me around and open his mouth and say the king is honoring me.
Boldly proclaim.
Man, that's powerful. All because he stood on what is real. You understand? Let that mind be in us. You understand? Your enemy will have to exalt you. Your enemy will have to exalt you because you are steadfast on the Most High's word. All right?
Kiss the dust off your feet.
That's right. Verse 12. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house, mourning and having his head covered.
I bet he did.
Yeah, I bet.
I bet, boy, looking like this, boy, walking through this deal like, oh man.
Boy, I had to fumble lip. Boy, I had to fumble lip. And what you get plotting on the Most High's people. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men, see, he had wise men or astrologers, right? And Zeresh, his wife, unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shall surely fall before him.
Ah, what did they recognize?
Wow.
All right, y'all, what did they recognize? This is, go ahead, nephew. What did they recognize? Let's read again. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends, everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men, we've seen this play out before. Zeresh and his wife said to him, if Mordecai be the seed of the Jews, if he really be these peoples, who we know he is or might be, then you have begun to fall. Thou shalt not prevail against him, but shall surely fall before him. What you think happened, nephew? What you see? Zeresh is his wife. So what you think? Like this, like when the world recognizes who you and your daddy really are, if you are truly the seed of Abraham, remember it says, bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you, right? Remember that you were meant to be the head, not the foot. Remember that your God is going to save you with an everlasting salvation. Remember that you will never, ever have to be worried. You'll never have to cry, shed a tear. He'll wipe all your tears away. He will deliver you and carry you back to your land. If the world come to realize that you are really the Jew, that they have been oppressing and downtrodden after all these years, then they're going to have that shocking fear that everything we got is about and will fall. It's like if somebody walk up to you and talk mess to you and they don't know who your daddy is. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. You talking about Viz boy? Oh, no, it's all good, homie. It's good. I ain't worried about it. It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah, you know about that. You know, somebody walks up to you and they ain't know who baby. Hey, that's my boy. That's your old man? Oh, we get dapped up. You know what I'm saying? So understand what they're coming to realize is that this man is one of God's chosen seed. We done messed up. We about to fall. It's over with for thous. That's what's happening. And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlain and hastened to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared. Ooh, it's about to go down. So now, that spirit didn't hit him. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Are these those people we heard of in the past that they got? Remember, it said that if they do not sin against their God, don't bother them people. Because their God is for them. You will become a reproach in this earth. Now, why are we still hearing Haman's name over 2,000 years later?
And that's crazy.
He's that reproach.
Look, even his wife knew it though.
Yeah.
His wife and his wise men like, hey, you picked the wrong fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you picked the wrong fight. You leave them Israelites alone. Leave them alone. If they are being obedient
to their God,
there ain't a force in this earth they can come against them.
And see, Mordecai was obedient to his God because why? He did not bow the knee, which he did not worship. And it's clear he said he did not give what? Reverence. Now, out of all the ones that was bowing, Morty was the one that's not.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. You picked the wrong Jew.
You picked the wrong.
Now, you got one of them other Jews, see, they sinned against their God by bowing and reverence you. You could have hung them and had no issues.
Now, trip off this. Now, while all this is going, don't forget, he got to get to that banquet the next day.
And remember, that's Esther's cousin.
That's right.
And Morty a family.
All right, now watch this. Let's get it. Esther 7:1. So the king and Haman came to a banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day of the banquet of wine, what is your petition, Queen Esther?
And she still haven't gave you yet.
And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed even to the half of the kingdom.
Ooh, he got to be shaking in his boots. I had to walk the Jew around that I hate, dress him up, give him the crown royal clothing, give him the best horse, and proclaim him. And now his people has favor with the king up to half of the kingdom. Man, that boy that boy got the bubble guts. He had the one White Castle guts.
Oh, man. I know about White Castle burgers from St. Louis. You already know. Verse 3. Then Esther the queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king.
Ooh,
And if it please the king, let my life be given me at your petition, at my petition, and my people at my request. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he, that durst presume in his heart to do so? And Esther said, the adversary, the king, like, who you talking about?
Amen.
Who looking to harm you and your people?
Hey, bring it out, man. It's
I
no
didn't
game.
get the memo. What you talking about?
Because he had that ring.
He gave because he trusted him. He was a trusted advisor.
Oh,
understand?
Man.
If the king give you his ring with his signet on it, whatever you stamp, it is as if the king authorized it.
But the king had no understanding.
He had no understanding of what was going on. It's like legislation being rushed across the president's face. Here, sign here, sign here. You trusted your advisors, you understand, and have your best interest at heart. Right? He not knowing the whole time my right hand man is a devil. You feel me? And he moved my hand to destroy
the woman that has my favor.
Yeah, real talk. Right. Verse 6.
Hey man, I love this story, man.
Verse 6, and Esther said, the adversary enemy is this wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
I bet you he was.
It's your boy right there.
It's your man's in there.
Him right there.
He want to kill the woman you love.
And my people.
And my people.
And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath.
Oh, hold on. I want y'all to picture this. Picture yourself as us as men with your beloved woman right next to you. And you got your mans right here who been plotting to get at your wife on the low through the power you bestowed on him. And you get that man, you got one of them. What? That I want you to understand what when he say he rolls up in reference. What?
Yeah, he pissed.
Man, he pissed to the highest level of
pissed. He's like, I trusted you, my right hand man. Promoted you above all my princes.
Boy, you trying to kill my queen, my dude?
Oh yeah, you gotta go.
Boy,
you gotta go. Not sure about this.
I didn't let you like holidays.
And the king arose from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went to the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen. I said, please spare my life. For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the palace of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was.
Oh,
you just killed yourself.
Oh,
now you're in his queen's bed.
Oh man, brother. It's like sitting there bathing in alcohol after being cut with 1,000 blades.
Done, Dylan.
Done,
Dylan.
Done.
Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
Ooh, because see, to him, it's like he's trying to take her, have his way with her.
Yeah. Like I just heard all this about you, and then I come back in.
And you in my wife bed?
Her bed.
Nigga, please. Hey, boy, that's that thing, boy.
Yeah.
Catch his bullets with his teeth. Nigga, please. Boy, you going off. Wait.
Oh, man.
Man, you don't even know how. Listen, it's a joy to learn your history.
That's right. That's right.
It's a joy to see these stories unfold and how your God favored you amongst your enemies. But guess what? We ain't even got to the punchline.
Oh, man. It's heating up. As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. With one of them hangman masks. Toe tag and bag.
Hey, y'all be seeing the movies when they jump out the van and they grab you up and cover your face.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, listen. I could already see he had a little pee-pee coming out. Hey, man. Hey, look, he already begged for his life.
Yeah.
He already ended up pleading.
Yeah.
He seen the countenance of the king pissed.
Yeah.
And then he just got caught in the bed.
Oh.
And had one of them dry forts.
That boy blew out all his drawers.
Boy, hey, bro.
Boy, he had to blow
That
all his
boy
drawers.
soiled his royal drawers, boy. Oh, we. See, I want y'all to see how I see. This is how I see the story in my head, boy. That boy centered on this him, boy. That boy over.
Yeah,
bro.
You see how he, but real this. You see how he went from riding high on the hog. You understand?
To bro, my
to being
Lord.
judged, being brought lower than a footprint, lower than snail nuts, huh, boy?
Ooh,
Lower than snail nuts.
Boy, Bernie Scoot.
That quick. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, man.
The Most High make you poor overnight.
Hey,
You'll
see,
be judged overnight playing around with the Most High.
Listen, he purposed for us to be gone in one day.
Yeah.
You hear me?
In one day. And then remember, his wife said, won't you build gallows then, 50 cubits high? And
that was a hard
time. That's the problem. And then when she finally felt, well, hold on.
That was Jew.
You ain't tell me he was one of them.
One of them peoples?
Oh, and then the wise men saying, oh, yeah, you tripped. If he is.
Suresh, we need to take you home. Can we
Yeah,
get her out of here?
If he is one of those people, then guess what?
You fail already.
You done already failed.
You done. Overs for that.
Verse 9, Haman is hanged. And Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high. Remember, he built his own gallows for his death. He dug his own grave. You heard that today. You digging your own grave. Haman dug his own grave or had his own gallows built to hang himself. Before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. And the king said, hang him thereon. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, praise. Oh, praise. All right. Now,
have this mind in you, Israel. Do not think your enemy has prevailed over these 400 years of persecution. The Bible tells us that that nation shall be judged. Is it ink on paper, or do you believe? See what I'm saying?
yeah.
Y'all should be. I'm still clapping my hands.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praise, glory, and honor. All right. We in Esther chapter 8. Man, we're going to read like 1 through 8, then we're going to jump down. All right. All right. Esther chapter 8, verse 1. Esther's plea for her people. Because remember, even though Haman been hanged, look, it's all over social media. It's all over the news.
Yeah.
It's all in every newspaper.
It's on the internet.
That these people are supposed to be killed on a certain day. Remember that.
So now you hurry up and change that decree.
Right. Even though Haman is dead, the order that went out via King Ahasuerus' seal that he gave Haman
is still out there. It's still out there.
And look, you got to reverse this news in 127 prophecies from India all the way over to Ethiopia.
I just closed that map too.
Trip off that. You got to, I mean, that's a lot of, look, that's a lot of news to get out. That's a lot of news to get out to reverse the decree to kill these people. And we ain't got the internet. You understand? We ain't got social media. It's in the ancient world. It takes days, if not weeks,
to travel the information.
You understand? To get this information to where it need to go. Wow. All right. So Esther's plea for the people, chapter 8, verse 1. All right. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. Like, this is my cousin.
Hey, look, bro, look at this, bro. That's how much area he had to cover. Can you see that pretty good? Boy, listen. Ain't nothing but horses. Ain't no airplanes. Ain't no teleport systems. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no high speed cars, no train.
Yep, that order went out where? In Susa. Probably, you know what I'm saying? I remember where circle that you got Elam and all that. And you had to cover all it went out right there. You understand? And then that deal right
there. There go Elam right here. Susa, there it is right there.
And we say India, all that's right there. You know what I'm saying? You got Elam there, and then all the way over to Ethiopia, bro.
So look.
Yeah.
Yeah, see right here where I see my finger circling?
That's Susa and the palace.
You see it? So we had to go everywhere to the right, further east, all the way down here is where Israel will be dwelling. You know what I'm saying? So it would be all along this water, all down up here, all up here. And then over here in Africa. All the way over here to the land of Cush is. Wow, boy. And that's a horseback.
There's a lot of land to cover to reverse a decree to execute, you know what I'm saying, slaughter upon the Israelites, all right? And it's Israelites living all over these provinces right here. Israelites. You know what I'm saying?
Her people.
All right. So notice that King Ahasuerus gives everything that Haman had to Esther. That's yours. His estate, everything belonged to you. All right. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto who? Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. Look at that. Look at that. Now Mordecai got the king's ring with his signet on it. You feel me? Whatever he stamped is as if the king authorized it or ordered it, right?
And who was that? Who was that remind you of what story?
Joseph. Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king and fell down at his feet and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman, the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and things seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of HANDHSTLHOLYFEASTS the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces. Well, how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people?
Ooh. She's thinking collectively.
That's right.
See, she could be like, look, I got favor. I hung the man that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? My cousin been avenged. You know what I'm saying? He got the ring. We good. We in the palace, king. No, bro.
No.
It ain't over to all my people.
Hey, a complete defeat. That's what we talking about.
Oh, I like that.
Complete. Most High don't deal with partial victories. Utter destruction of the enemy. All right. Watch this. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come into my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred? Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews as it liketh you in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse.
Ooh.
Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews and to the lieutenants and the deputies and rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia, at 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing and according to their language.
Boy, they didn't have no printer back then, but they was writing them deals out.
Yeah, boy. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries. wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
So if they would have rose up against y'all when this was out, rise up against them and take everything.
Yeah, you both stand up and fight back. That was the decree. Mordecai sealed it. You understand? And they were ordered to stand up. Now, trip off that. You got Israelites in all these provinces, but then you got other nations and kindreds in these provinces being ruled by the Persian Empire as well. They were ordered to stand up and fight against the Jews. Trip off that. Why you think the remaining of them left was like, look, we gonna worship how y'all worship. And y'all God must be real. We gonna become Jews, or we gonna convert to y'all way of living. Because if you wasn't an Israelite, the decree was to stand up and exterminate the Jews, right? So the Jews were ordered at this point, stand up and fight back, slay, kill, and destroy any that come against you. And the remnants who were left over in those provinces that didn't rise up, they like, you know what? We're going to convert to y'all way of living.
Because clearly seeing the power of their God manifest.
Yeah, hence, that's why you think you see what you call Judaic culture in all these different places. From ancient times in Ethiopia, ancient times. It's Judaic culture in India, ancient times. Shout out to Parasad. Parasad went over to India. You know what I'm saying? Found who you call dark-skinned, what you would think were Indians, you understand? But they keep a Judaic way of life. Trip off that, showing you this right here is real. All right? Now watch this right here. Man, this is powerful. Upon one day in all the province of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, all right, which is the month Adar. All right, that's the biblical month we in now. We are in the 12th month of the biblical year. All right, 12th month. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. So the posts that rode upon mules, camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king commandment, and the decree was given at Shushan the palace. Verse 15, Mordecai and the Jews exalted. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad.
Now check this out. I want to hit back at that 13. Now look. Now we know, looking at, again, we're not prophesying no days and nothing like that, but I love how it plays out. Because when you're dealing with Purim, right? You know, we know the fall feast wasn't completed yet. Those are the ones to come, you know, pray that your flight will be in the winter, on the Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? We know the harvest feast, all that. But listen, I love, this just stuck out to me. Check this out. A copy written for a command to be given to every province was published unto all people, right? That the Jews should be ready. Remember, we come back, right? And the armies come back, right? And we get our bodies and we go wage that war. That the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. See the biblical prophetic beauty of that.
That's right.
To be ready.
Okay.
You was at 15, just got done.
All right, verse 16. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came. The Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Meaning they converted to our law, statutes, and commandments.
But they became citizens of Judea.
Yeah, which means it's the same thing when the kingdom is set up. Any remnant of any Gentile nation that's around, they ain't gonna be able to worship Zeus or worship Buddha. If their life is spared and they ain't decreed the lake of fire, they are going to be Gentile converts. to the children of Israel. That's all throughout the prophecy. So some people saying people become Jews just because they can. Well, a Jew according to worship, not bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Just like I can't become Chinese. You feel me? And the last dragon, Leroy wasn't Chinese. Yeah, Leroy. Even though his philosophy was that of China, but he was not Chinese. You know what I'm saying? Same here, you can convert. That's what's up. That's what all that saying. They became Jews because they converted. Notice the reason they did, because the fear of the Judeans fell on them. Now, what fear? What happened? Verse chapter 9, about to get into what exactly happened. And this is why the fear fell upon them.
Well, this so reminds me of the end time, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's at that wind outside, somebody that's going.
Chapter 9 and 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm finna get there. You go ahead and start it up.
Now, in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, and the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them. Because it wasn't just Israelites living in these 127 provinces. You know what I'm saying? Persia had many tribes and ethnicities living amongst them.
Sound like America, man. I see such a biblical prophetic thing in this right now. I never saw before.
You should. All right. Now trip off this. Though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had ruled over them that hated them. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. Remember, it's 127 provinces, right? To lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them. For the fear of them fell upon all people. This is why you got those that remained that became Jews. Verse 17, chapter 8 say, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Well, why did it fall upon them? All right, verse 2 again, 9 and 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. That's why. And all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
Sounds like Judgment Day is coming.
Judgment Day is coming. Verse 6. And in Shushan the palace, trip off this, let's keep track of these numbers. And in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men. Trip off that. There still were 500 men that were in Shushan where the decree went out to reverse the execution. 500 men still was willing to destroy our people, right? That's mighty, man. All right, right here. And it says, in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men, and Parshandatha, and Dalphon, and Asphatha, and Paratha, and Adalia, and Aridatha, and Pomashta, and Arisai, and Aridai, and Vajez. Those sound like Indian names. You see some of them names today. The 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they. So his sons got bodied behind it. But on the spoil laid they not their hand.
They don't want nothing from them cats. They don't even want their relics.
Sure about this. On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king. And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace. So we got 500, right? And the 10 sons of Haman.
510.
What have they done in the rest of the king's provinces? Now, what is your petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is your request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree, and let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
Ooh.
So he built the gallows not only for himself, but for his sons too, right?
Wiped his seed out.
And the king commanded it so to be. That's right. Wiped his seed out. And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons. For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey, they laid not their hand. How many we got so far?
So you had 300, 500, then the 10, and then it's 300.
300 the next day. So on the 13th,
18.
they slayed 510. Right? On the 14th day of Adar, they slew 300. So we got 810 enemies that were laid down because they came against the Israelites.
That's just in Shushan.
And that ain't even in the rest of the provinces. You still got 127 provinces. Man. All right, verse well, I'm in Hebrew. 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives and had rest from their enemies and slew of their foes 75,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey. 75,810 of our enemies were put down during this feast of Purim that we celebrate. Why wouldn't you teach this to your children? And look, in an age where our children get killed going to the store, or police kill our children for playing with water guns, or the police kill, Mike Brown and Eric Gordon and many other, Sandra Bland and all that, right? Why wouldn't you read and raise your children up knowing that those who plot against us, they got a horrible judgment coming?
That's right.
That's 75,810 of our enemies that will plot to destroy us were put down. Why wouldn't you celebrate this?
How could they want to get at Mordecai and his people?
75,810 of your enemies.
So think about for every.
All praise to the Most High.
Yay!
Have it up for the Most High. All praise. All praise. All praise.
And just think, for every one Mordecai, 75,000 enemies died. Now imagine that. And you saw it also.
For one Mordecai.
Wow. There was 75,810 enemies put to death. Now go back to the movie The Matrix, right? The last one, right?
Yeah.
Remember they were saying there, is it this many machines? And what did Morpheus say? Yes.
He said
one for every
man.
Yeah, boy and child. That's just like what a machine would do. Yeah, so this much enemy should perish. Can listen, they outnumbered us anyway on this side of the continent. And listen, they brought horrors upon our people out. From the time they put us on a boat through the ride, all the way to here. And over the centuries. I ain't say the decades. I ain't say the years. Over the centuries. The payback is going to be real. For real. Hey, everybody playing their part. I keep trying to told you. All right, what you want to do, bro? With the 10 to the dates?
The Feast of Purim, verse 18. Verse 17. On the 13th day of the month, Adar, on the 14th day of the same rested day, it made it a day of feasting and gladness. All right. So 13th of Adar, the 14th of Adar, you understand? That's coming in. That's starting Sunday evening, going over into Monday. You understand? And we're gonna be feasting. You're gonna be feasting, thanking the Most High and bringing this into memory.
And going out in these streets and listen, holler at people so that the fear of the Most High hit those people, you know what I'm saying, and become what? Israel. We're going to holler at Israel. We're going to get our people together. We're going to help our people.
All right. Verse 18. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day thereof, And on the 15th day of the same, they rested and made a day of feasting and gladness. 13th, 14th, and 15th.
They kicked.
All right. Both in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
There you go.
Sending portions, sending gifts. And we get gifts one to another during this time. Nothing wrong with it. All right. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king of Ahasuerus, both near and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly. Yeah.
It's a memorial.
Yeah. 14th and 15th yearly. All right. That's powerful, man.
Again, this ain't a Leviticus 23, but this is definitely one where the Most High showed his power, his hand, his favor, and spurred us, and it was commemorated. It's like dedication.
Just like dedication. And some people say, we don't celebrate it. Well, I mean, that's all on you. We gonna commemorate. It ain't no sin for us to, you understand, celebrate.
And I ain't gonna charge you a
memory
sin.
what the Most High, you understand, has, or
A
what
mighty
the
act.
Most High did for us, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, I knew Nick Rose back in the day who used to compromise and keep pagan days as well. Kind of say, well, we as a people, we got together, we ordained feasts that wasn't in Leviticus 23. So why can't we do Thanksgiving and, Christmas? As long as my people, as long as the food I'm eating is not pig and catfish, and my family cook clean food for me, why I can't go over there for Thanksgiving and Christmas? After all, the Feast of the Dedication ain't Leviticus 23, neither is Purim. You be surprised at the excuses and compromising men come up with because they don't want to stand up and call it for what it is. For one, it ain't a Gentile on this earth that can decree any feast for us. You understand? Two, if it ain't in the Bible, what are you doing anyway? You see what I'm saying? So that's your response. Gentiles don't ordain and decree and create feasts for us. Period. You'd be surprised at what we heard over the years.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I was there.
You'll be surprised. Yeah.
I am a walking testimony of what I heard.
All right. Verse what, 22?
No, 23.
23.
Yeah,
and
read
the
the
Jews
portion,
undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pur, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his son should be hanged on the gallows. Wherefore they call these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they should keep these 2 days according to their writing and according to their appointed time every year, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
Some generation.
Every generation.
Only the first 10.
Every generation.
Every generation thereafter is what's being said.
Every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews.
Should not what?
Fail from among the Jews,
Mm.
nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
So those who don't want to keep it, you are bringing the very opposite. Now, if you say you believe the Bible, you believe the book of Esther, then you should be keeping it.
Mm.
I'm saying that's what you say.
Why wouldn't you? That's the whole point.
What
Why
part
wouldn't you? There's no, you can't even give a biblical reason why you wouldn't. Messiah observed the Feast of Dedication. That's John in the 10th chapter, 20 through 22. That ain't in Leviticus.
Joel ain't in Leviticus 23.
Why wouldn't you then? All right. Another memorial of us being saved from our enemies, right? Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm the second letter of Purim.
2 witnesses.
And he sent the letters unto all the Jews of the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matters of the fastings and their cry. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
So what you're saying is before, in the days of fast, is when she told her people, hey, 3 days before this feast, 3 days, dry fast, pray, I'm finna go. And if I perish, I perish. But she didn't perish. So that's what you hear. That's what's talking about, the matters of fasting in their cry. There was lamenting, right? So, man, ask them to get understanding, Malaki.
Y'all get an understanding thus far. Last chapter we're going to go to. The last chapter is 10. It's real short. It's about Mordecai's greatness and how he was exalted. We're going to go to the extensions of Esther, or the editions of Esther.
Don't tell them where. Don't tell them where yet, though.
In the what?
I mean, don't tell them what chapter yet.
Why
We
not?
going now. We don't want to read the punchline before we get to it.
No. I mean, hey, it's all unfolded now, brother. What you mean?
All right, y'all. After this, we going to the Apocrypha. We're going to go to the extensions. The additions. I'm tripping. Extensions, Lord have mercy. The additions to Esther, right? And the Apocrypha. We're going to go to that chapter 14. We're going to get to the punchline.
Yeah, and this is for y'all to still condone, you know, the interracial marriage and all that. Because, I mean, that's what they love to go to and say, you know what? Esther was a Hebrew from the tribe of Benjamin, but King Ahasuerus was a Persian. More than likely a Elamite, an East Indian.
So Esther chapter 10, verse 1.
Esther chapter 10, but
Are we going straight to 14?
14.
Oh, okay.
Get to 14. This is Esther's prayer. Remember chapter 5, she went into the king. But remember, she had to fast 3 days, remember? Now, this is her prayer doing that. All right.
So look, I want y'all to see we here the additions
Mm-hmm.
of Esther. Let's get to that deeper understanding of what's going on. And listen.
And this again, y'all, this is in between what is that, chapter 4 and 5?
And 5.
Chapter 4 and 5. Remember, she had to go.
Told them people to pray for her.
Yeah, she had to fast 3 days. All of them had to fast 3 days. Remember, she said, if I die, I die.
I perish.
You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to go in. But during her 3 days of fasting, this is her prayer about the situation. All right. And this is something brothers never go into. Right. Trip off her mindset.
Let right? This be the mindset in you.
Trip off if she liked being married to a heathen.
Uh-oh. Da, da, da.
All right, let's get her done. All right, Esther, the editions of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 14. We're going to start at verse 1. Queen Esther, also being in fear of death, resorted unto Yahweh.
Stop. That's how you know Mali is not off in his timeline. That's what he's telling you. This is Esther. Being in fear. The only part we read that she was in fear of her death was only that one part where she knew she had to go before the king without his permission.
That's right.
So that should be very plain and clear. This is not after the fact. There's no histories of her. They won after that. Haman's dead. The decree is reversed. So for this to fall in play, now you see how it's a fall in time. It was right. There was only one point she was in fear of her death in this whole story. And that's when she had to go before the king unannounced. Go ahead, Art.
And laid away her glorious apparel and put on the garments of anguish and mourning.
Uh-oh.
And instead of precious ointments, she covered her head with ashes and dung.
And what?
Bobo.
So listen, I told you there was even a deeper. Now we understand about the turn of the rent of the garments. We know about the sackcloth, right? Because these are called the garments of anguish, right? And we know about the ashes. But she even went down and made herself lower than Bobo. She denied her flesh. She went to the lowest of low and then went lower than that. See, people understood that you are not even worthy to be in the presence of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That might sound nasty, but that's actually the highest level of respect and reverence to something so great that I'm going to my lowest state.
That's right.
Because I was made from that lowest state.
That's right.
And I was worthy enough to be thought of. Let me go as low as I can go to come even before you.
That's right.
Dung, bruh.
Dung. Wonder what kind of dung that was. What kind of dung?
That's it.
That's a whole nother question right there.
Bro, hey.
You did.
And look, read the next from common to common.
And for y'all that don't know, March 8th through March 9th. So the evening of March 8th is the beginning of the 14th of Adar. All right. The evening of March 9th is the beginning of the 15th of Adar. All right. So March 8th all the way through March 9th. All right.
It's not a Sabbath.
Sunday evening. All right. At the beginning of the 14th day. You take that Sunday all the way up to Monday evening. That's the beginning of the 15th day. You take that Monday evening all the way up until Tuesday, right before sundown Tuesday is when the feast ends. All right. So all day Tuesday, all day Monday, you feel me? And even Sunday evening. Keep this in memory. Eat good, eat lawful. But remember what the Most High did. Put down 75,810 of our enemies.
Play this video in the background at your house.
That's right. All right. Verse, trip about this. She covered her head with ashes and dung, and she humbled her body greatly.
There you go, right there. You see it out? She humbled her body greatly. There's no lower you can go than that. Let's get it.
And all the places of her joy, she filled with her torn hair. She pulled her hair out.
From being married. It's no different when you get to Ezra. Didn't that prophet do the same thing? When he had heard, and you have to think Ezra chapter 9, when he had heard that Israel was laying with these heathens, and he plucked his own hair and beard out, and he had to take a seat. It was grievous for us to be mating with these other nations.
And then
today we do it like it's.
And then trip off this though. It's even deeper. This is a woman. Her is her glory. This woman straight, she's the queen. She straight snatched her hair out of her head.
And the beard is
filled the whole place with her torn hair.
Yeah.
Put ashes and bobo
on herself.
And she prayed unto the Most High. Elohim of Israel, saying, "O my master, thou only art our king."
See, this is why Morty didn't want to bow. Because Morty understood this. Know how? Because Morty had to teach her this. Because he raised her. Big Cuz raised her. Go ahead. Help me.
Man. Help me, desolate woman, which have no helper but thee.
See?
For my danger is in mine hand. From my youth up.
Oh, here we go.
From my youth up, I have heard in the tribe of my family that thou art master. Tookest Israel from among all people, and our fathers from all their predecessors for a perpetual inheritance. And thou hast performed whatsoever thou didst promise them. And now we have sinned before thee. Therefore hast thou given us into the hands of our enemies, because we worship their gods. O Yahweh, thou art righteous. Nevertheless, it satisfies them not that we are in bitter captivity. It's the queen talking in the palace. But they have stricken hands with their idols.
And she's winning. Technically, you would call she's winning. But she called herself desolate. Humbled her body, the clothing of anguish, ash and boo-boo.
That's right. That they will abolish the thing that thou with thy mouth hast ordained, and destroy thine inheritance, and stop the mouth of them that praise thee, and quench the glory of thy house and of thine altar, and open the mouths of the heathen, to set forth the praises of the idols, and to magnify a fleshly king forever. O Yah,
Give not thy scepter unto them that be nothing.
Ooh.
Give not thy scepter unto them that be nothing.
And he said, those other people that are from Adam are what?
Like
Like
a
a
spittle.
spittle. They are nothing. See that? Even in this time, now she's past Solomon. Solomon came, gone, died, and moved on. Still, this mindset is there. Give not thy power unto them
that be nothing, and let them not laugh at our fall, but turn their device upon themselves and make him an example that have begun this against us. Remember, oh, Waze, make thyself known in time of our affliction, and give me boldness, O King of the nations and master of all power. Give me eloquent speech in my mouth before the lion. Turn his heart to hate him that fighteth against us, that there may be an end of him and of all that are like-minded to him. But deliver us with thine hand, and help me that am desolate, and which have no other helper but thee. Thou knowest all things, O Yah. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous.
I love it.
I hate the glory of the unrighteous.
Well, I get along with it.
I hate the glory of the unrighteous.
Maybe compromise?
Thou knowest all things, O Yah. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous.
My Lord.
And abhor and hate the bed of the uncircumcised. And of all the heathen.
Yo!
You hear that?
Y'all heard that?
She wasn't happy she was married to this heathen.
Huh? She knew her ancestor Dina, or Dana, however you want to pronounce it, went through this in there in a bed with an uncircumcised heathen. Our women hated that. But she knew for her people she had to do it to save them. And Mordecai reminded her, for this purpose was you born. But if you don't get it, their enlargement and deliverance still gonna happen. Just be careful you ain't destroyed with that king. Man, look.
She straight hated
Most High, you can't get around it.
She straight hated his bed.
And it's uncircumcision. And not just him, but all the
heathen. All the heathen. And look in the margin.
Hey.
In the margin of 1611, it says, of every stranger.
Of every stranger. Hey, look, let me get a 9 if y'all got even more understanding than you had the day before. That the Most High even more so through his word has revealed to us that we are not to be bed buddies with
That's
the
right.
heathen.
Come on, man. It's 2020. You know better. You know better. Even Esther said, I hate it. You feel me? I'm in this position because it was ordained. You know what I'm saying? To save my people. But in her prayer, she said, look, I hate that. You know I hate it.
Coming from a woman who put boo-boo on her head.
Boo tore all of her out and filled her whole room with her hurt.
I bet not hear none of y'all try to compromise loving the heathen no more. When the woman who saved y'all asses.
You heard me, Nick?
By putting ass droppings on her.
Exactly. Boo-boo something, either animal or human dung.
Come on, man. Ass dropping.
Come on, man.
I better not catch an Israelite talking about I love the white woman or I love the white man in my bed. You the type of Israelite should have died. You the type of Israelite that Maccabee old man killed for going there and finna you that worship at that altar.
Lay down.
You the type of Israelite that would have got killed by an Israelite. Trying to,
Or Phineas in Numbers 25.
Oh,
he took that javelin between old boy's shoulder with that Moabite woman, man. Please.
Boy.
Off with your head. And he got an everlasting covenant behind it. An everlasting priesthood.
Boy,
Number 25, dude showed up with the Moabite woman.
He said, what?
To the zeal of the Most High jumped on him. He took his javelin, and while he was in bed with the woman, hit him through his back, his stomach, and hers.
And
left him there.
You see that? See, these them scriptures Negroes like the duck. Because as long as we ever done heard about Purim or taught Purim,
Nobody went here.
We don't go into the editions of Esther.
Nobody goes here.
Into her prayer. See, all we know is back in Esther, you know what I'm saying, that she said she was gonna fast 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else fast, and if I die, I die, but I'm going in there. This is her prayer. Them 3 days she was fasting.
Boy, P said that dude got pinned to his sin forever.
Yeah, real talk. I'm gonna read 15 again. Remember, she's praying to Yah, praying to the Almighty.
And mind you, her prayers are getting answered at every point.
That's right.
Every point you see, every point she made in this prayer got answered.
Hallelujah.
How you think it became short here?
Hallelujah.
I'm so excited I can't get my hands.
I know you over at NehemiYAH per ounce.
Boy, I'm excited, brother. You know, it's right up my alley right here.
I tell you yesterday, I said, bro, we got this Esther to hit.
Boy, I said,
read that.
Boy, we had to sup behind this bring out, boy. Oh yeah, we strategically planned to bring y'all this today.
Yeah, exactly. I hit the brew yesterday. I said, bro, you know
we gotta hit them histories.
They last little stronghold is, but y'all celebrate Purim, don't you?
And
Look,
Esther had a Gentile husband.
I said, bro, we got to read the editions of Esther chapter 14.
Well, we sat down there, but we toasted up some wine, ate some food.
Yeah, ordered some pizza.
And Bo was like, whoa! Amen. I'm saying, but hey, look, grown men loving the Lord, feasting and eating, and enjoying this word like we was in the streets.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But bro, like feeling that good, having a great time in the Word of God, because our people don't go here. We didn't taught many of the classes, we done did many of the conversations, we done had many of the debates, but ain't nobody going here. So next time they read and run that, send them right here to the Apocrypha.
It don't even get brought up.
And they can't deny because most of them believe in the Apocrypha. Because they kept the Feast of Dedication. You got to believe in the Apocrypha. See, then what you'll find out, they only like the books that they like. They're more partial book believers. So if they're a partial book, their faith is partially what? Compromised. Then what you do with that type of Israelite? Run, buddy.
You hear me say, what it say?
Thou knowest all things, O Yahweh. Now, look, thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous and abhor the bed of the uncircumcised and all of these.
16, thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor, I hate the sign of my high estate.
She even shunned her queenship.
Which
not today's people. They want to keep their high status and jobs and soliloquies and all that stuff. No. She didn't love none of that. My fault.
Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor the sign of my high estate, which is upon my head. Hated that crown. And in the days wherein I show myself, and that I abhor it as a menstruous rag.
Boy, I bet not heard now one of you mumble mouth
a bloody tampon, huh?
Boy, she hated this so bad she compared it to a bloody Q-tip. Bloody tampon, Kotex, rag, sanitary napkin, sponge, sanitary cloth, whatever you want to call it. The blood of a woman in her menstrual cycle throughout all the scriptures is her most unclean, set apart time. She likened her crown and this uncircumcised heathen in his bed unto a menstruous rag.
Y'all know that's nasty.
That's nasty.
That means she did not like her.
Anything opposite of that or loving them and bedding with them, you might as well be loving menstruous rags. I'm going to bring you a whole box of them used. You nasty Israelite. You nasty Israelite. You. I understood my ancestors. I understood why Ezra heard that and he dropped. And listen, a man's beard is his glory. And he plucked his own beard out. The woman's hair is her glory. And she plucked it out and put boo-boo on herself. But you want to fix your mouth for your snow bunnies and snow monies.
That's your boy.
Boy, you disgust the lights.
Here, let's do a 16 again, man.
Man, boy, I bet not heard a Negro after today who heard this video.
Man, you know you
Take him to the end part of the video. You ain't even got to tell him to watch the Purim video.
Man, look.
Take him to this minute mark.
But you know you gonna hear it.
Boy, you nasty, bloody, rag-looking, blood of lights, menstruous, funky. You look at my man of the Lord.
Here, let's do this. 16 again. Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor the sign of my high estate, which is upon mine head, in the days wherein I show myself, and that I abhor it as a menstruous rag, and that I wear it not when I am private by myself.
Not only is it as low as a menstruous rag, I don't even wear it when I ain't got to wear it. When I'm in my private place, man, I threw that thing in the corner in the trash can somewhere. You understand what you see what I'm saying? She has to wear it publicly. She's the queen. But you cats be loving y'all bags so much. Y'all love y'all parade them on. All of you on Instagram, Snapchat. You can't even get a private moment you loving them so much. I better not catch another one of you Israelites. These heathens on your arm.
Now it's confusion in the end when you're done talking, man. And again, we don't teach that over here. We don't condone race mixing. You feel me? None of that over here. You feel me? It's confusion. And look at it and think about what it does to the children. Think about it. So now we don't condone none of that. We teach stick with your own. Stick with your own. You understand? And look, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
There ain't no sin in me telling you, look, go get you an Israelite sister.
You ain't mad when
sister, you need to be with an Israelite man.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's it.
Only those that are anti-nation, anti-us rising up would be on some, but brother, think about it. You know, the black woman and, you know, her mouth. So I'm going to go get me you just ain't strong enough. You ain't strong.
Your back got too many curves in it. Noodle back.
You need to get with your brother so we can build you up. But we'll never condone that. And look, Esther letting you be known, I abhor the bed of the uncircumcised, which is very powerful because guess who she in bed with? An uncircumcised heathen, the king of Persia. And she said, I hate it.
I abhor the crown.
And I compare the crown that's on my head to a bloody menstruous rag.
And in private, I don't even wear it.
Come on, man, stop it. Get with your own. All right. 17. And that thine handmaid have not eaten at Haman's table. Well, this is Haman in there, but it's Haman. And that I have not greatly esteemed the king's feast. She don't even like going to eat her own husband's feast. Nor drunk the wine of the drink offerings. Neither had your handmaid any joy since the day that I was brought hither to this present. But in thee, O Yah, Elohim of Abraham, O thou mighty power above all, hear the voice of the forlorn and deliver us out of the hands of the mischievous and deliver me out of my fur.
And he did. From the beginning of this prayer to the very end of this prayer, the Most High answered it. So why do you think he stopped at verse 15 and stopped listening? Why do you think he stopped listening in verse 16? Listen, man, this is another thing you got to be careful too, right? If somebody look at somebody's unrighteousness and make that the template of what they do, run.
Run.
Run. You ever seen a little A-Rap video that dude walking around, he throw a little bag somewhere, run. And then everybody break out running, wait throw them little bomb bags. Bro, run.
Real talk.
Because listen, nobody runs around here and say, well, I'm going to be an adulteress because David was one. See, that's how you know people is not even sincere in their wickedness.
Right.
And everybody run around and say, look, I'm going to be a murderer because King David was one. They're not even righteous in their unrighteousness. Like if you're going to be King David all the way and do everything King David did. Don't sit and say, well, he had this, and Solomon had that. What Solomon did with these wives was so bad that it rent the kingdom in half.
That's right.
To a fact, it took hundreds of years in civil wars for the King of Kings of Israel to come down to gather the lost sheep and the house of Israel back together to one stick. That's how bad that split. That split was so bad that Solomon did by messing with these other nations' women that it took the King of Glory on high to come down to fix it. That's how bad that got. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, listen. There ain't no way in the world any of y'all can fix y'all mouths this day going forward. Didn't really have no ground to stand on anyway, but even more so.
Yeah.
You have lesser ground. You're not gaining. You're losing more. Leave these other nations alone. We were never supposed to be like them. We're supposed to be celebrating and ready to war against those nations that came up against us. That's the prophetic part. I just got it. I never even saw. I read it many times, but it felt totally different today because you're supposed to be ready. This Purim is a day you're supposed to be ready to wage war against those nations that came up against you. Not, come here, let me hug you. Can we go lay together? Ooh. Anyway, if y'all got some understanding, overstanding, circumstanding, let me get a 7. 7 completion. That means you got complete understanding. Give me a 7. And then I can hallelujah this thing and close it on out.
Yeah, go ahead and get these prayers off real quick. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, Anna, you can't be putting no more pictures up on Facebook, girl. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm joking, though.
Yeah, and look, y'all reread that addition to Esther chapter 14. And then he go hard. And look, let that mind be in you sisters that was in Esther or Hadassah.
Boy, you know, I think about, Samson dad. Boy, he said, boy, out of all the daughters of Israel, you can't find one?
That's right.
Surely you can find one. You can put a picture up on Facebook. I enjoy your pictures. We ain't getting to St. Louis. Hurry up. All right, y'all, man. We got mad love for y'all. And I hope y'all got a lot of edification and also a new discovery of something you probably didn't have before. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Iman, stop laughing at me. Iman, stop laughing. Leave the old man alone. But we ready to get this prayer in?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get her in.
All right, y'all. We finna get on these knees and pray to the Most High.
Bring all our loved ones before the mercy seat of the Most High. All praises.
All right.
Y'all willing, we right back up tomorrow evening by 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Go bring the Shabbat in.
Bring the Shabbat in with our family.
On the Shabbat high noon. We starting high noon Central Standard Time from now on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? So y'all get on up early. Y'all that's local, get on down here. And then Sunday morning, you dig, around 10 o'clock, we're going to meet up down here at the HQ, and we're going to go and give all less fortunate people. And, it says something about sending gifts and portions.
Yeah.
So we're going to be giving away gifts and all that to who they deem is less fortunate. That evening, Sunday evening, is the beginning of the 14th day. We're going to be down there feasting. Monday evening is the beginning of the 15th day. More than likely, we right back down there feasting. And the feast don't end until Tuesday, right before sundown. They did the Feast of Purim, where the Judeans was delivered from the plot of their enemies. And because of one man, 75,810 of our enemies got put down. You see?
Beautiful.
Take your mouth off the children of the Almighty. You dig? So how about we enjoy this, teach it to your children? You know what I'm saying? And it's also a powerful faith booster for the sisters in Israel. You know what I'm saying? It's time for y'all minds to transform as well. Y'all minds supposed to be likened to these sisters, the Hadassah, Esther, Judith, Deborah, you know what I'm saying? Sarah, Rebecca. It's plenty of sisters in the scripture. You know what I'm saying? That the Most High, the mother of 7 sons, plenty of sisters in the scripture whose mindset was not that of Babylon that you have today. They didn't even compromise. Esther just told her out, which is major because a woman's glory is her. She tore her out, filled the entire room with her hair, then put bobo on her head. Along with ashes, fasted for 3 days and told and prayed to the Most High, said, you know, I hate the bed of the uncircumcised. Yes. I hate the bed of the uncircumcised.
I abhor the crown.
The crown, I look at it like a bloody menstruous rag.
Woo-hoo.
You did?
Baby.
These people are nothing.
That part we read?
Let that mind be in you, which is awesome.
So that's I don't care what you got from me, America, because America ain't giving a Negro woman or man nothing greater than a crown. Can we agree with that?
Facts.
No, nothing greater than a crown. So no high-paying job or nothing that is not crown status, and she abhorred that. So there's no reason for you to compromise with your people or your God based off your social, financial status in Babylon.
And remember that the king gave her Haman's house.
She got more.
Haman had that money. Remember that
we read to 1 million.
10 million was a bounty put on all the Jews.
At least 106
from Haman. And she inherited all that. She was rich, lived in a palace. Crowns and all that, and still was like, look about my God, my people.
She had crown royal.
All right, y'all, we got to face Jerusalem. I'm down on my knees, man. Let's get it done.
I'm gonna get there before the night over with.
Let's go ahead and get her done. And let's bring our people, you know what I'm saying, all the sick in Israel before the Almighty. You feel me? And all our people who got problems going on this very hour. All right, we want to bring before the throne of the Most High our sister and his daughter Lex, the wife of my Mordecai, that's local right now. You understand? We want to also bring before the throne of the Most High my Pete. I'm going through his situation. I want to bring before the throne of the Most High my Yaki, his situation. We want to bring before the throne of the Most High the in-laws of Akship Shon. You know what I'm saying, his situation, and the baby of Mordecai and Lex. You understand? May she come through that matrix. May she come through that matrix of that womb, healthy as ever. Another daughter of Zion added to the fold. Another death blow added to Satan in his kingdom. All right. And also we want to bring before the throne of the Most High all the sick in Israel. All right. All right, so Heavenly Father, Yod He Wav He, Yahweh El Elyon, Yahweh Rofeka, Yahweh Yireh, Yahweh Tzibaot, we bring before your throne my sister Lex, your daughter Lex, the wife of my brother Mordecai, and their soon expected unborn baby girl. Render a judgment in our favor. Allow her to come through that matrix, come through the womb, and with a full and clean bill of health, in the name of the Most High, in the name of your only begotten Son, we pray. Use us as your battle axe and weapons of war. Heavenly Father, loosen your ministering angels of health. Command them to rain down a healing that is complete, a healing that is understood right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And by his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Use us as your battle axe and weapons of war to come against and attack
to break the back and bind whatever strong man there is that's attempted to plague their situation. We command to cast him down now and cast him out into a herd of swine in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. We bring before your throne, Heavenly Father, Yahweh, El Elyon, all the sick in Israel who may be plagued in mind, body, and spirit. Loosen your ministering angels of healing. Command them to rain down a healing that is complete, a healing that is understood right now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against an attack, to break the back and bind the strong man of burning, inflammation, fever, and sickness, and command to cast them down and cast them out into a herd of swine right now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against an attack, to break the back and bind the strong man called the coronavirus and render it powerless. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, cast him down and cast him out into a herd of swine. Right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Yahweh, Yireh, send forth your ministering angels. Command them to rain down provisions and blessings that abound more and more. Command the blessings of Abraham to be upon this assembly and all attached to us, Heavenly Father. Command the blessings to abound more and more. For your word says, if we keep thy commandments, if we are obedient to thy commandments and follow the Messiah, then shall we make our ways prosperous. Command prosperity right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. Not man's prosperity, but your prosperity. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Yahweh El Elyon, Yahweh Zebaoth, send forth your most militant and elite angelic warriors. Confound and put down any and all opposition to thy people. Any and all in opposition to the followers of thy dear beloved Son, Heavenly Father. Confound and put down the seen and unseen, physical and spiritual, visible and invisible, tangible and intangible. Send forth your heavenly hosts and render a judgment in our favor right now, right now, right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Use us, Heavenly Father, to come against an attack, to break the back and bind the strong man that's plaguing our enemies in this very hour, whether it be Israelite or Gentile, foreign or domestic. Use us to come against the strong man of hatred, hypocrisy, pride, ego, slander, and tale-bearing, and murder. Use us to break his back and bind him and render him powerless and cast him down and cast him out to a herd of swine. Right now, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to raise the dead, cast out devils, cleanse lepers, and heal every manner of sickness. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, and through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Your word says, knock and it shall be opened. Ask and we shall receive. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to give sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, speech to the dumb, and strength to the lame right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Yahweh El Elyon, Yahweh Zebaoth. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to cast down and stomp out serpents, scorpions, principalities, Leviathan, and every ruler of darkness right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray. Yahweh El Elyon, use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against, attack, break the back. Use us as your battle axe to give sight to the blind. Use us as your battle axe that in our very shadow and presence, the devils cry out and flee, and your people are delivered in the name of Yahushua Mashiach. And through his mighty and precious blood, we pray, let the sign of the prisoner come before thee in this very hour. According to thy power, Yah, preserve thou those who are appointed to die, and render into our bosom sevenfold the reproach, or with they reproach thee, O Yah. So we, your people and sheep of your pasture, will give thee praise forever. We will magnify your praise unto all generations. Hallelujah. Selah. Yahoo. Yeah. Real thingness. Let's get her done.
You gotta get her up first.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? Get militant in your prayers, Zion.
Yeah,
Come against attack, break the back, and bind every strong man, every demon, every principality. You understand? That's plaguing your loved ones and even your enemies.
right.
Messiah say, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever
right.
you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. We binding and loosening that. You dig? And you're going to see great results. Great results. Use us as your battle axe and your weapons of war to come against attack, break the back, and bind the strong man called the coronavirus in every plague. Render it powerless. Cast it down and cast it out to a herd of swine. You understand? Hey, 1,000 shall fall at this side and 10,000 at your right side, but it shall not come near thee. Only with your eyes shall you behold and see the fall of the wicked. You dig? So all praise and glory now to the Most High, the only creator and possessor of all things. And y'all, Messiah say all power and authority be given to him in heaven and in earth. So this ain't black power, it's a Mashiach power.
Yeah.
We're going to bust our spiritual guns and flex our authority in him. You know, we here to step on Satan's neck and break his back by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. Pray y'all got edified. NehemiYAH, any last words, brother?
Man, what can I say behind all that? Hey, look, man, I really, really enjoy having these hot topic classes with y'all, man. These are the conversations that we need to have in Israel to edify, to purify, to solidify us as a nation. Anything outside of us is what has destroyed us. History, the Bible has shown us that from time and time again. The addition of anything else outside of what the Most High has given us has truly destroyed us. So in order to defeat the enemy, you must shed the enemy. You can't be likened unto him, but you have to be, against him. You can't, there's no gray area in this. You know what I'm saying? So everything from the physical to the spiritual, you gotta let it go. If it's a heathen mindset, let it go. If it's a heathen holiday, let it go. If it's a heathen relationship, let it go. Yeah, I said it. The Bible shows it. You know what I'm saying? In Ezra and Nehemiah, look, they put away those children and those women out of those type of marriages. So I stand on the word of God. It might hurt somebody's feelings. And somebody gonna say, well, I didn't know, man, I wasn't in the truth. Well, you still ain't in the truth. You're still trying to keep that back. I mean, as it's written. Because you don't see nobody saying, stay. Didn't David get all his wives snatched from up under him? Yeah. Oh, okay. Did Solomon retain all his wives? No. You know what I'm saying? So wherever they try to find it, and listen, that person scares me who tries to find the loopholes of confusion. These should be things that y'all should see. Be careful of Israelites to find loopholes in confusion. When the scripture says what it says, you get, I think, I believe, I feel. I'd be like, I'm gone. You hear me? Well, I think, I believe, I feel. Well, guess what, bro? Don't you worry about this. I'm gone. That's all. So, man, I love y'all indeed. The truth. Maybe we'll get on up out of here. Get some rest in. You ready to enjoy this Shabbat day. It's actually a fun-filled weekend here in St. Louis. We'd be up in the 70-degree mark on Sunday.
What? Well, yeah,
Did you see that? The Most High opened up the heavens, or warmed it up.
crack that barbecue pit on up, boy. We back there
But
barbecue.
I don't like when they say crack the barbecue pit up.
Well, you know what I'm
No
saying,
more,
man. Come
You know
on.
why, man?
Oh,
Because
technical.
they make me barbecue.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I just know I'm always the one that go home smelling like charcoal.
Oh, that was you. That was you. You started it all.
You know. But no, man. But listen, real talk. We talking, man. We actually really enjoy it, man. Just look on humble. Hey, bro, let's barbecue and invite everybody up to the assembly. Let's just get it in. So, man, I love y'all, man. I can't wait to fellowship with y'all, man. Passover's right around the corner. Purim, if you're gonna make it here, is right around the next day. The next day.
Hey, but look, reminder, Passover information is in the description box. Let's get it, y'all.
All right. So hopefully we see you sooner than later. All right. Don't be a stranger. And if you having problems with anything, man, just give us a call. And if we can't figure it out, we'll get it figured out. We love y'all indeed and shoot y'all.
Yo.
Shalom is down.
Shalom is down. All praises.
Yeah, you know, we make up stuff around it.
And wait for it. Wait for it. One smile.
Come on, man.
In broadcast.